Good morning. My name is Kaushal Shah. I'm a CEO and founder of eVitalRx. And today, after a long time, I think it's well time for me to do another product demo because there's a lot of new product updates have been pushed out over the last 1 or 2 years. And all the product demo that we have online is quite outdated at this point. So before I start with the demo, which we usually do with the screen sharing and all that stuff. But today I want to spend a few minutes first on to understanding who we are and where we come from and how we build things and where we are in our journey of building the best and the most advanced pharmacy management software of India and for Indian pharmacies. So I'm going to share a screen and go through the presentation first, about a few slides, and then we'll go and take a look at the product itself. As you can see my screen now, this is the presentation that I want to walk you through. I'm going to leave myself up here somewhere. eVitalRx, we are a pharmacy billing, CRM, inventory software. So complete system that you need to run your pharmacy. All of your needs that to run your pharmacy is probably taken care by this. If not, then we always integrate it with third parties. We will talk about all those things later on. And it's a completely cloud-based software. And you will see what it means eventually. It means that it is available on mobile as well as the website or the web browser. It's also available on Android as well as iOS. So no matter where you are in the whole world, as long as you have internet, you should be able to access and do pretty much anything you need to do for your pharmacy, billing, inventory management, anything. All you need is an internet. So kind of think of it as like a Facebook or Instagram or something. As long as you have internet, you could be anywhere in the world. You can still use your Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is the same thing. A bit of an introduction of ourselves. The legal company name is Equality Healthcare. We're based in Ahmedabad. We started in April 2021, so it's almost about 4 years now. We have customers across the country. We have more than 6,500 customers, pharmacies using it daily. I'll talk about what kind of pharmacies these are. In terms of size of the company, we are about 225 people as of January 2025, but with more than 90 engineers. So this is very unique thing about us. We are more engineering heavy, more product heavy kind of a company rather than a operation kind of thing. So we'll talk about all those things later on that. And I'm sure if you use the product, you'll see that we are very, very engineering and product focused company. It's myself. I am a pharmacist myself. That is one thing that a lot of people don't know about me. I graduated in LM College of Pharmacy in Ahmedabad, in case you are aware of, in 2006. I have been living in New York since then. I still live in New York there. One thing I take a lot of pride in over the last 4 years of building this thing. I've visited personally more than 500 pharmacies. There are lots of pharmacies in Ahmedabad and Bangalore especially. They know me personally. I've spent hours and hours sitting there learning about the business and learning about how we can actually build a software to help them. And I'm not coming from some other software company. None of my co-founders, other team members, you will see, they are not coming from them either. So everything we have built by talking to potential clients, talking to clients that could be from small clients or large pharmacy, whatever that may be. And yeah, I visited about 500 plus pharmacies in the last 4 years. And one thing I still enjoy doing it, even after 4 years into the company, is, go around the, country. I was recently in Kerala last weekend to see some pharmacies over there, which is what I still do. And I'm fascinated that how many problems that we still need to keep solving. But one thing, that's something I'm extremely proud about. And the rest of the team, Chintan Patel is the CTO, comes from a company, a lot of experience of building the scaled up website, web e-commerce kind of products. Agam takes care of enterprise APIs, and Romil is doing fintech stuff. I'm sure there's a lot more things going on here. Ajay, Mitul, designer, great design. You will see that Jignesh is taking care of most of the engineering, day-to-day product development stuff now. So a couple of pictures from office, and the team has grown quite a bit since then. Actually, these are little old pictures. Couple of things about the software. These are the major features. I'm sure during the demo we'll go through each and everything. We have a largest catalog. I'll also talk about the catalog very soon. We also have a lot of FMCG items with the barcode. And what you see on the screen is the integration. So because we are on cloud, because of the cloud, we can do a lot of integration with third party, whether it's about payments, delivery, accountings, analytics, messaging, WhatsApp messaging. If you work with the doctors or have hospital setup or something, clinic setup, you also work with EMR software providers. For the delivery, you can do third-party deliveries. We actually have a lot more integration than this now. So again, all of these things we will talk about in the presentation. Some of our prestigious client, Maruti Medicals is definitely one of the top customer that we have. They're based in Bangalore. If you don't know about it, they're one of the largest, if not the largest pharmacy, retail pharmacy in the country. Aushadhi pharmacies in tier 2, tier 3 towns of Telangana, Andhra. Jeevan Rekha is in NCR, chain pharmacy. Prism Medicals, one of the, if the largest pharmacy chain in Chhattisgarh, Raipur, about 20 plus locations. Lilavati, that is the actually offshoot of Lilavati Hospitals, the famous Lilavati Hospital from Mumbai. They started opening pharmacies in Ahmedabad, and we are very proud to have them as a customer. Santilal Sanghvi Eye Institute, even that is the father of Dilip Sanghvi, the MD of Sun Pharma. So a lot of prestigious clients have blessed us with their trust and support over the last few years, and we continue to do so over the next few years. Some testimonials from that's Anand sir himself, Maruti Medicals, a couple other customers, Magnilal Chaudhary from Pune, Asif from Durwani Medicals in Bangalore as well. One thing we have done recently is we also introduced artificial intelligence. I'm sure everybody has heard of enough of AI at this point, and we aspire to do the same thing. We introduced AI into our product, and in eVitalRx is the only and the first pharmacy management software to incorporate AI into their daily workflows, such that you can do purchase automatically, you can do a better customer service, performance monitoring, and so on and so forth. Again, we are going to go through each and everything in detail eventually. This is just to give you sort of where we are, but this is one space where we continue to put our focus on, to continue to put our more energy into. We have about 15 people team now just focusing on introducing AI more and more to pharmacy, so that your life becomes easier, your customers are happier, and your business is growing. But let's go back to the basics. Why eVitalRx is becoming a software of choice? Why is it growing the fastest pharmacy management software in the country right now? What actually sets us apart? It's not AI or anything like that. It's just the basics. And that's how I want to spend a couple of minutes in explaining why it's becoming a software of choice. So first thing is, it's extremely easy to use. And you will see that I'll give you the proofs of it. You will actually try it yourself. One of the things that we have always been obsessed about, and if you go on a Google Play Store, you look at our reviews, one of the things that you will consistently read in each reviews is how easy it is to use it. And we still take a lot of pride in, we still make sure that is taken care of, that it keeps staying easy to use, despite the fact that we keep adding new features. Because as you run your business, either you could be new to the software or your staff could be new to the software, and the software and ability to run the software should never be a hurdle into growing your business. That's why we always say, let's keep it easy to use. The second thing you will see immediately is the speed. It's extremely fast. A lot of people have this misconception that because it's a cloud-based software, it's going to be slower than desktop. And if you come from any legacy, I don't want to name it, but 20 plus 30 years older softwares, you will immediately notice that we are actually a lot more faster. Search is awesome, and I'll give you some numbers as well. So ease of use and speed is one reason. The second reason is we are cloud-based. Everybody these days wants to be mobile. They want to be able to see things on mobile. And if you think about it, in 2025, everything we consume as a consumer, whether it's buying online or we're buying and consuming media online, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it could, WhatsApp, we want everything to be on mobile. But when it comes to our own business, we have forgotten how to give that experience on mobile to our customers. So that's why we are cloud-based, and that's why we are becoming a choice of software for choice. Because it's cloud-based, you can literally be anywhere. You could be on vacations, at a wedding, at a emergency, hospitals, kids functions. You will feel seamlessly connected to your business, which you have poured so much time and blood and sweat into it. The lastly is the centralized catalog, and I'll talk more about this, what I mean by that. One of the things we have done day one is we have built the most comprehensive product master, medicine catalog, whatever you want to call it. We add images, salt API content, drug formulation, marketed by, schedule, GST, HSN, all that kind of stuff into our catalog, barcodes. And we continue to pour into a lot more into this aspect, because we think that ability to look for alternatives, ability to do a proper management of the catalog sets a very good experience for your customer to reduce bounds and improve the customer service. Right. One of the things is reducing bounds is the critical, because if the customer comes to your store and the last thing you want is that you say no to the customer, however, the exact alternative is sitting on your shelf as a non-moving product or an expiring product. So you want to make sure that you are able to actually look for alternatives and things. And I'll give you examples of that as well. We have a very unique way of building this catalog. Not only we have the catalog, we actually, most important thing is we keep adding 500 new products every single day. Right, that's about 15 to 20,000 new products every month. We keep adding, and at this point, our catalog is one of the most coveted, most sought after catalog in the country right now, if not the most after actually. So we'll talk about all this, but these are the three main reasons that eVitalRx is becoming a software of choice. Let's talk about ease of use. So very intuitive design. You can see the software layout and you will immediately realize that this is not something was built in 2005. This is built for 2025. That's one thing. Zero training. I mean, one thing I assure you that you will barely need any training, at least for the basics, billing portion and things. Of course, there are advanced features that you will require training, and which we will talk about eventually as well. An extensive YouTube library. We have YouTube library of 700 plus videos. You can have videos in different languages. So even though I'm speaking English right now, I can only speak in Hindi, Gujarati, and English. But we have customers who speaks Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, and we have extensive YouTube library for them. However, it's done by my colleagues into the company, but it's pretty much all the things that you need to know to run the software is also available in all the major Indian languages. If you have a particular requirement that we are not covering, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to cover in your language. We ran this campaign a year ago that the campaign was anyone can build, where we went around in Ahmedabad. We asked people who did not know about the software at all. They never heard about eVitalRx. We gave them a laptop. We gave them an assignment, and they started doing billing within less than 2 minutes. And that was a challenge. Out of 20 people we tried, about 18 of them nailed the challenge in less than 2 minutes, right? And that's the kind of what we look for, that anybody who comes to your store for a job should be able to use the software. Software learning should not be a hurdle in hiring somebody. That's the only way you will be able to grow your business. Speed, average API response, a little bit of technical. Search API response is 75 milliseconds. So when you search for a product, the response you get is in 75 milliseconds. That is less than 1/10 of a second. If you save the purchase, it takes 225 milliseconds. If you save the sales bill, it takes 300 milliseconds approximately. And if you want to compare that, when you blink your eyes, it takes about 100 to 400 milliseconds depending upon the human. So it's literally within blinking of an eye speed, right? You save the bill and it's like the amount it takes, it's blinking an eye. In fact, I'll have one more statistics. A human ability to distinguish as instant is about 200 milliseconds. So anything that happens below 200 milliseconds, as a human, we cannot even distinguish. So when you have a search response less than 75 milliseconds, you cannot even distinguish whether it's instant or whether it's taking any time. A bit technicality here, but I think the point is that you will see the speed when you use the software. Cloud, I said, no installation, no updates. You don't have to interrupt your workflow. We do send a lot of updates. We send about 2 updates a week, sometimes 1 update, but what you have to do is literally, it will be pop-up early in the morning when you log in first time. It will say pop-up, you refresh the browser and you're done. Literally, it takes 3 seconds, if that. No installations required, no pausing your workflows and so on and so forth. No downtime for syncing, because the software is built on the cloud natively. There is absolutely no need for LAN server or backups or server, nothing. There's zero need for that. We actually also back up on the cloud itself every 1 hour. It has happened in 4 years. I don't think it will ever happen. But if it does happen, the most data you could lose is last 1 hour. Again, I don't think it will ever happen, but this is what we do. You as a person of the user, you do not have to sync anything. Just think about again, one more time, like Instagram or Facebook. You're not backing up your photos on Instagram or Facebook. It's on cloud directly. There is no lane or anything. If you have a phone and a computer, both you logged into Facebook, you don't need to be on the same lane or anything. A lot of companies out there, because they are facing a lot of challenges, they keep saying that we are on a cloud. They're not really in cloud. They do a lot of patchwork, and it usually doesn't work. In fact, it requires more expenses because they are doing all this patchwork. So be aware of those things. It's not really a cloud, in my opinion. Not in my opinion, it's a matter of fact. And the last thing is minimal infrastructure on spending the new stores. You need a simple computer. You can do a lot of things on mobile as well. Everybody has a mobile these days. So even if you are growing, and instead of buying three, four, five computers and a lane and a server and a backup and all this kind of IT infrastructure, if you go on a cloud directly, all the infrastructure is already taken care of. So very, very minimal infrastructure spending on new stores. This is for if you're a chain pharmacy and you're growing rapidly, that is probably what you're facing. I mentioned centralized catalog, so I want to spend couple minutes here. What we do is we every time somebody comes across a new product, they send us the pictures, and now we have actually OCR technology where when you take a pictures, the system itself is scrapping all the information from the picture, name and content and everything, and filling up the form. You as a customer, you can immediately start billing. You have zero wait time after that. What we do is we receive those pictures here in the back end. We clean it up if we need to, which we probably do. And then once we submit it, it's available to everybody. So all the products are being entered only once. If somebody else has received those products already before you, it's already being taken care of. If somebody else has not, if you are the first one, then only you have to take pictures. So this is again, and pictures are also very handy because if you have a new staff member, they're looking for product and they don't know what they look like, the product looks like, it comes really handy on the phone or a screen or something like that. But yeah, so we crowdsource the whole thing, right? All of the products that we have added into catalog is thanks to our customers, and they continue to do awesome job at building the most comprehensive catalog. We have 20 plus people in the backend team to make sure that catalog runs smoothly. We have 3 engineers dedicated just to run this system. But now one more thing we have started doing, which most of the people don't know about it, but it will come very, very clear very soon, is we also started creating batch master and scheme master. So all the products, what are the verified batch out there in the market are available. You will be able to guess that into the system, and you will also receive the scheme master accordingly. So the idea is that, we do a lot of cataloging so that our customers has a great experience in adopting a new product or suggesting new product and so on and so forth. Again, a lot more details will come across. Lastly, training and support. It's we offer free one-on-one training when you sign up, and onboarding session as well. There will be about 3 sessions, about an hour each. They will actually help you with all kinds of onboarding, making sure your first few bills are correct. All the things that you should be aware of out. They will ask you a lot of questions about your workflows, suggest some settings accordingly, so on and so forth. I highly recommend that if you buy the software, please, please, please go through this sub trainings. A lot of customers say, hey, I know how to do this, and then they make mistakes, and then they have a poor experience or something. We are here to help you. It's completely free. There are no extra charges. There are about 3 sessions. We do expect some knowledge. We cannot teach you from literally how to type, but we do a lot of basic trainings, profile setup, settings, so on and so forth. And then you get onboarded. And there will be query session as well. If you have across the problems, you can come back to with query and things like that. It's a lot of hand holding we do because we truly believe that the good training will ultimately result in a good experience. We also have daily 4 p.m. community calls. So every day in the WhatsApp group or on the website, on the software, you will see that we have a call talking about some particular feature. If you are our customer, please come for the fact that this is for a feature discussion, not a general complaint or criticism or a feedback or something. If you have very general feedback, you can always call the support. You can even email me, Kaushal at eVital.in. I look at each and every email. I respond to each and every email. Hopefully I will do that for at least a few more years. And, join this call if the feature that you are interested in. Join the call, learn about it, give them feedback, give them whatever you have to say about that particular feature. Plus, this discussion is very, very focused discussion for that particular feature. So please if you bring up the other points, they may not entertain them. And lastly, we are actually coming up with something called premium support, where we want to try and give our customers an opportunity to reach out to the senior person like myself or CTO or somebody who's up in the chain. And if you believe that there is something that we need to draw our attention to, we'll be more than happy to do it. You'll be able to record the video and send video directly to myself or some of the senior member. This is coming very, very soon. There might be some minor charges around that, but we want to make sure that you get the support that you truly need. So with this, now that you have some background about the company, the product, and the how we operate and things like that, what I would like to do is I would like to share the screen, look at the product, go directly to the fun part, where I'll show you some features. What I'll do in a demo, rather than, because the product has grown so much over the last 4 years, the whole demo with each and every detail will probably take 3 to 4 hours, which of course I'm sure you don't have it. So what I'll do is I'll rather focus on the things that are quite unique and special about our software that probably you have not seen somewhere else. And two, I will also highlight things that are coming in over next few months or something, so that you kind of see where we are going with it. There are lots of details. This demo is supposed to be giving you a gist of from my own ideas, my own words. Please do reach out to our demo experts if you have more specific information, questions to look for. Say, how do I do this? How do I do this? Is this particular feature available? If you feel confident, if you have a friend that fine, you can go ahead and buy it. But let's jump right in. Let's take a look at the presentation, the demo of the product. I'm going to share my screen. So there it is. As you can see, it's available on web. So you can, as a browser, you can log in just like any other cloud application. You might be able to do it. You can log in. I've not shown the login, but it's a simple login with a phone number and a password. First thing, when you land on a dashboard that gives you the picture of the whole of your business in a summary. What kind of sales you've been doing today. If you have a loyalty program, you can see that some products that are expiring, some products that are already expired. If you have PDC issues that are there, sales margin, who you're supposed to pay, who you're supposed to collect from, your staff activity, people who work with you, what kind of activity they've been doing, and overall stock summary. One thing I want to mention is everything you see on the demo, pretty much all of the features are configurable according to the staff permissions. So if you have people you don't want them to see this particular screen, you can control that. You can control whether they can create sales invoice or purchase invoice, whether they can edit an invoice or anything like that. It's all configurable. So what I'm showing you right now, it's a completely owner access. So you will see everything, but don't think that this is the only thing. You can completely customize and control according to the staff role that you can create. So you can have create for the delivery guy, one for the sales guy, one for the purchase guy, one for the manager, so on and so forth. And all of this is configurable. Before we move forward, like I said, the whole demo takes a long time. I'm going to try to cover most of the important things. But there will be a lot of other videos that please refer to them for any detailed discussion regarding a particular feature. First, I want to start with the purchase invoice. This is to enter all the products that you procure from a distributor or wholesaler. So if you go here and if you click on the new purchase or click on a plus button, you will see a blank screen where you can enter a distributor name. There are a few different ways that you can actually enter a purchase. You can use a CSV file. If your distributor provides a CSV file, we have mapped thousands and thousands of distributors, and we continue to map every day. You can actually map it yourself too if you want to. And after that, it's simple. One upload from a CSV and you'll be able to do it. Second way to do it, which is the most required sought after feature we released a few months ago, is you can take a picture of an invoice through your mobile phone. So remember, eVitalRx is a completely cloud software. So it's also available on mobile. You can also take a picture of the invoice from the mobile and it will automatically scrap all the data and print it here for you in a draft manner. And then you can simply verify and save the invoice. And lastly, we have also another one where if you would like to use a scanner, barcode scanner, which I will also demonstrate eventually. So We also have Gmail integration. However, we need to upgrade that. That will require another month or two of work. If you have a Gmail and if your distributor is sending a CSV file directly to your Gmail, you can actually integrate your Gmail account here, and automatically, without you doing anything, we will actually fetch that as well. For now, the most common one is the where people type distributor's name. All the distributors are recognized via GST number. You can type it, you can type a GST number and we'll fetch it. They're all unique distributors. Here you can enter bill number. I'm just going to randomly something enter other things. So instead of typing each and every item, which takes a long time, as you probably know, I can just simply upload a CSV file. If I have received a CSV file from my distributor, it will look something like this. And I will simply say, open it. And then all the columns that are in distributor CSV file for that particular purchase will be imported here automatically. Now you can see the whole purchase took literally less than 5 seconds. All the products are here. Here on the left side, it's a distributor name. On the right side, it's our nomenclature, our master. So if you remember, I was saying that we have one master only. So all of that requires mapping. However, you don't have to do the mapping. The software actually does it for you. If you don't like something, you can go ahead and change it if you would like. And second thing is, even if you don't do it, we'll be doing the mapping manually and automatically anyway. But at any time, if you doesn't like this, you can go and change anything you would want. I'm not going to change anything right now, but the other thing I want to point in attention to is simply these highlights. If something is nearer expiry within 6 months or so, it will also highlight to you. You can check, you can edit anything you want. If sometimes distributors do not have all the columns properly done, you can fix that yourself. Couple of other things that we actually have recently launched. However, it's not launched to the whole public. It's in beta right now, so some of the customer has received access, which you will see, by the way, a lot. A lot of what we do is we build certain features, and since we are blessed with a lot of customers now, we can actually release certain features to certain class of customers, let them try it, let them test it. Once they feel that we don't have any bugs or anything like that, we release it to I'll tell you the feature we have released recently. So you see the batch correction. The correct batch is a big headache in pharma business. So what we have said, which I have said earlier in the presentation, we have also started creating batch master. So you will start seeing the tick, the green tick right next to it, if this batch is a valid batch according to our batch master. So you can actually see that. In fact, there is a setting in a purchase that some customers of ours are so meticulous about the batch correctness that they don't even want to save the purchase unless and until the batch is verified. Now, what happens if the batch is not in our master? In that case, they can actually point their phone towards the batch reader. And if the batch reader is matching with this, it will automatically verify. I won't go on much of detail because it's a very laborious process. If you would like, we'll be more than happy. I'm sure there is another video on YouTube there will be coming very soon that you can learn all about it. But idea is that if you are that level of meticulousness, if you require, we can also help you with that. So right now, as you can see, the bill number is fetched, the bill date is fetched, everything is fetched automatically. If you use PO system, you can also connect your POs from here. So whatever PO I have actually sent it out for focus medicines will also be able to link here. I actually personally recommend PO system because it allows you to measure a couple of things. Since you send the PO, how long the purchase took. So that's a kind of a turnaround time. Since whatever you send in a PO, let's say this bill has a 14 items. Let's say my PO was 16 items. So I know that there are 2 products that have been bounced since what I send it to as a PO. So this kind of things, I personally love it. I'll also talk about the PO and ordering and Shortbook and all those things later on. But I personally think that everybody should be using a PO system. Even if you are calling your distributor on a phone and placing an order, send them a PO after the call anyway. That shows the record. So we can actually store this timestamp that you share the PO, and then based on that, we can actually calculate and help you turn around. I will also explain you that how we show all those things. So I think PO is very critical. The last thing is also, if you require, let's say 6 quantity of something, let's say this one Rosumac, 6 quantity, and let's say distributor dumped it to you 9 quantity. You also want to know that if any distributor is dumping a stock on you. So these kind of things are very, very critical in my opinion. There are a couple of other things. Some people who like to do challan, and some people, GST and not GST, or some people also, if in case you bought something from a stockist directly, you can actually do with PTR instead of PTA. Sorry, PTS instead of PTR. The other thing is, if you also, there are certain people who also wants to make sure that every product is located correctly. They want to sell the sale rate. If you are in generic especially, you can do all those kind of things. I will show you in a minute. Before we move on, there is a save now. The moment you try to save it, this is one thing we do very unique. Every product in this bill will be compared against the margin that you used to receive earlier. So if you saw a couple of top things, we used to receive Telma 40, we used to receive 27.7% margin. However, this invoice, I'm only receiving 23.2%. So we actually alert you saying that I think you should pay attention to this. If case there is a higher margin as well, we also show that. If it's a mean, they are all listed down below. One of the most important thing, we also save this as a report. So let's say you have a purchase guy who does all this purchasing, and he's looking at it, and then he's not really doing anything about it. As an owner, you still would like to know. So there is a report around this thing. Not only there is a report, now with Sahai, we actually also send you alert if there is a big margin gaps into certain products throughout the day. And alert is a whole nother subject. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but we have lots of alerts, and they're really, really smart alerts. I personally believe that, I'm sure there are other videos that you might have seen, that I personally believe that the reports are kind of like outdated thing. I think the alerts are more important, because in a busy lifestyle like this, we cannot look at each and every report. So anyways, if I would like to go ahead and I could save it anyway, I'll save it, and then you can see the screen where you can do a lot of configuration in terms of HSN, locations, categories, whatever discounts you want to set for if you are also doing B2B, you can also set a discount around that. All these kind of things are existing here. I'm not gonna sit in go through the detail, but this is min max also you can actually save. So I'm gonna go and save. As you can see, I'm sure there are some requirement set up into so that if there is a product that does not have location, it is asking me to fill up a location. So you can go ahead and save all that invoice. One thing I would say, let's go back to the purchase. What I want to show is how else, what are the other ways you can actually do this purchase invoice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the purchase invoice. I'm going to try to do the new purchase now. What I'm going to do is this. I have a PDF. I'm going to take a picture of that PDF and trying to explain that how does it work. It's very simple. Unfortunately, I don't have the screen sharing, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to open our eVitalRx app. And once I open up eVitalRx app, you can go to the purchase. You can enter the bill number of a bill. So I'm going to open a PDF here, and bill number is A00 whatever. And then I'm going to type the distributor name as well. Once I have that, I'm going to say, I want to have picture of uploaded. And then I'm going to point my camera at invoice, and it's really fast. And I already have a picture here. Then I'm going to say save and submit it from the phone. The moment I submit it from the phone, it's going to tell me that it's available on the website now. So now you can go back to the website, the web portal, and basically I'm going to go back to our portal. And if I go out, this is the draft I received, right? So now you can see all the products that are scrapped from that. There are some procedure you will follow. You will basically say, please select the header. This is the header. And then you can map all these columns. Even that is very smart. If you only have to map it once with the one distributor, next time it will actually remember all of those things. You review the rest of the things and it will be completely printed. So even if your distributor does not provide you CSV file, now you can actually click and take a picture of the invoice, and you can actually enter it. There's one more last way. For pharmacies that are absolutely meticulous about entering their FMCG items also very, very accurately. So a lot of times what happens is in FMCG items, a product like this has a multiple packaging, flavors, and so on and so forth. And it's extremely hard because the quality of the invoice that you receive is not good. They're not really, specify this very clearly. So even if you take a picture or a CSV, you won't be able to map it to the right thing. So we have developed one more thing, which in my opinion is one of the most underutilized feature, but I personally love it. And this is how it works. You simply go on your phone again, in the eVitalRx, and then you go back to the purchase. And I'm going to try to show, I know there's no screen sharing, but I'm going to try to show. And this is what it looks like, a scanner. And sorry, my bad. So I go to purchase. Oh, there it is. I'm going to start scanning certain things. And if I scan, then I have another product here, and I'm going to scan it again. And then I'm going to scan it again. And then I'm going to scan it again. And then one more time. Let's try that. Okay. So now I'm done with it. And as you can see on my phone, on my phone, I see, and I will show you the screen in a minute. But I already have these products that are absolutely very, very cleanly mentioned. So I'm going to just type some particular distributor name and save from the phone. And I'll say yes, recommended, done. So now what I did here is this. What I did basically is I scan products. So the way it works is usually, so when you receive an FMCG purchase, you have all the products lined up on your shelf or your table or something. All you really have to do is you take your phone and scan everything. It does not matter whether you scan it in a sequence, whether you scan it in random order, or doesn't actually matter. It will collect all the products and it will exactly use the barcode to identify the product. So you don't have to worry about the flavors and the size and everything. Once you do all of that, you go back to your computer, and then there it is. I have these two products that I just came from my phone right now. I already have two products. If I would like to change anything, pricing, discounts, whatever, let's say I received pricing here, then I can change the pricing here. And basically it will take care of that as well. So that's the idea, that at least what you don't have to do is you don't have to look for products at all. Into the system. Otherwise, finding this Denver Hamilton Imperial deodorant body is a headache because it's multiple packages, multiple flavors, and so on and so forth. So this is the last thing we have tried in terms of making your purchase procedure very, very easy. Hopefully doing all of this. By the way, one thing I have not even mentioned, let me just very quickly go. QR codes. You can create QR codes for each and every item. We don't really do barcodes, we do QR codes. The reason we do QR codes is a couple of reasons. One, it's extremely fast. It's extremely fast to scan a QR code. In fact, the QR stands for quick response. The second is it's also very dynamic. Barcodes are not dynamic. What I mean by that is depending upon the application, depending upon the phone or a web or a customer or somebody scanning, it can actually show you different pages. So for you, if it's important to understand the batch and a billing purpose, for patient, if you want to use that QR code to place an order again at your store, which I will show you later on, it's very easy for them to just simply search the product. They're not interested into batch or anything like that. So QR code, we do that. You can print QR code, you can select certain products, create QR code, and so on and so forth. All of that will be available to you. One other thing I want to mention, if you are paying a lot of close attention, you will see some dots next to it. And these dots, if you hover on it, it will tell you something, say very good, good, very poor. What it means is, let's say open this particular bill. In this bill, I have received a couple of products that are not either good from an expiry perspective or that are not good from a discount margin perspective. So for example, this one says very poor because I have not received any CD at all. I have not received any scheme or anything like that. So, and the expiry is extremely early. It's 25th April. It's like literally 3 months from now. So what this software, this is where Shah comes in. This is a Shah feature. This is where intelligence comes into the picture, where we not only look at the expiry, we also look at the margin, we blend them together. Also, it's very smart about expiry. So earlier I showed you that it flags the expiry by 6 months. Certain products are always shorter expiry. So what we do is not only that, we also look at the expiry that are available in the market right now for that particular product. So this is not comparing the expiry in some arbitrary manner. It is actually comparing this expiry across what's available in the market for that particular product. So, for example, if you received that 25th April, but your colleague somewhere else, somewhere is receiving, let's say, April 26th, it will show you as a poor expiry. Let's take a look at another example so that it becomes very clear that let me go ahead and try find a good, what do you call this? This is just one, but I think this is a good one because it expires really far. Let me see if I can find a decent bill with, okay, maybe that one. I guess one product only. But again, same thing. I think I've received a good expiry here. I've received a good expiry here. Perhaps that's the reason that it's flagging. But idea still stays the same, that it's going to do a, if you don't see the dots at all, it simply means that we don't know enough about the products or something, or maybe this is a draft status. So we can't really tell you whether it's good or not. When you make a payment actually of a particular invoice, so let's go to the distributor real quickly. So we will have a distributor page like that where all the distributors are there. Is this one other approach we have taken recently? All of the things we will start showing you in a very graphical manner, and I can actually walk you through a couple of them. But before I do that, what I wanted to do is this. Let me see if I can. I'm going to look up certain purchases, and these are all the due bills, right? And I can select them. I can select them. And when I try to make a payment, right, it will show you here the quality of all the payments you are about to make. So if this does not look good to you, which we are actually working on improving this UX as well, then all that means is that your purchases are not good enough and you should probably negotiate with your distributor. I'm going to try and cancel this, but I want to spend a minute onto this particular page. I'm going to go back, and here's what I want to look at. So, for example, a couple of things here, payables and receivables. So whatever you are supposed to be paying and upcoming expiries across all the distributors, first month, second month, third month. So you can actually look at it. The next second month, I have a lot of expiry in Mahavir, but this month I have a lot of one in Shah company. Non-moving inventory items according to the distributors as well, purchase and purchase returns. So these are like sort of gross business that you are doing with them. Payable dues for the last 15 days. So whatever you have procured and it's about to become due, it will start showing here as well. So a lot of those things are here. Of course, you can go back to the listing page and try it from there as well. Oh, sorry, my bad. But yeah, so that's the distributor page. Purchase, we already went through the whole thing. You can see all of those things here. There is a little icon if you uploaded the pictures from the camera and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much all I can think about procurement. Next, we will talk about the sales invoice. Then we'll talk about the short book, all the other kind of things. I hope you bear patience with me because it's a big product now at this point, and it's really helping a lot of thousands of pharmacies. So I want to make sure that we walk you through pretty much all of it. So let's take a look at sales next. So one of the most important screen is what you spend most of your time is the sales screen, is the billing screen, right? So when you go there, if I want to create a new screen, new sales screen, this is what it looks like. And usually we recommend entering customer number or name, depending upon your preferences and how you run a store. The advantage of adding a customer number is a couple of things. One, you can send them invoice via WhatsApp integration completely. It's cheaper than actually SMS or print bill. You can, of course, print the bill all the time. Anyway, we provide a lots of different formats, thermal printer and regular printer, and so on and so forth. We also support certain dot matrix printers. But the other advantage of adding a customer number is also having their medication history. So when the customer comes back or anybody comes back from the customer family, you can easily look up what you have sold, what prices you have sold, and so on and so forth. I understand that certain people run a business differently and they don't want to enter customer number. That is completely fine. You can counter bill, you can create even an invoice just by the name, so on and so forth. But I'm going to go ahead and for the best experience, I would suggest an employee, for example, or one of our employee, Vaibhav Jain. The moment I entered his ID or through a number, you will see a couple of things pop up right away. You can see that he's a loyalty program member, so he has accrued some a decent amount of loyalty points. We will also show the other family members from his home, from his family listed here. So sometimes the customer is one guy and then the family is a different guy, different person. You can, let's say, self, and then all the other doctors that he have in the past consulted are also going to show up here. You can click on that. Let's take a look at a couple of things. Here there is a history. You can click at the history, and then it will all show you the past purchases or the past sales this person has done at your pharmacy, so that if there is a point that what is, what did I buy 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, what discounts did you give me, and so on and so forth, you can just simply hover on it here. It looks better if you have more history. This is a dummy account, of course, but you can see the all of that. You can just hover it and it will show you that this is what they bought in the past and so on and so forth. Let's go ahead, and even if you want to do it school old way, sorry, one more thing you will see at the bottom, you will immediately see certain products pop up. You can hover on this thing, you can look at all the products, you can even click on this product to add to the invoice. If you want to do somewhat old school, you can click on purchase history and it will also show you a purchase history from the past, what this person has bought. You can, of course, type things, scan things. You can, for a FMCG items like this, I recommend highly that you scan the items. We have QR barcodes as part of your catalog. You do not have to add these barcodes into our catalog. There is already 95,000 plus FMCG items, OTC items, and even pharma products with the barcodes are already in the system. So you can use all that saying, you can click on it, you can do whole kinds of things. In fact, there is one more thing. If you type first letter of the product plus followed by the MRP, it will also get exact that product. And if the product has multiple batches, it will also get the same batch. There are some items here written here. You can type LTK. Sorry, I'm going to go ahead and start typing something. It will show up here. There is a stock here as well. In case there is no stock in a product, let's say, for example, you can also click on this A. It's one of our most favorite feature for people. You can click on A. It will show you all the products that are exactly same composition available in your pharmacy in the stock sorted. So in case the product is not there, you can click here and it will actually pop that product up. If you don't want it, you can just escape it. One more thing I want to show, which is very interesting. This is not something we have talked about it because it's a recent feature, but I highly recommend. Some people love the fact that we are showing the stock right here. So while you're searching for a product, you can show it. One other thing we have done in the settings, if you go in the settings, and one of our team member will help you with that. If you want to hide this stock, now you might ask the question, why would somebody ever do that? The reason is the following. If you hide this stock, and let's say customer comes and asking for LTKH tablet, if you click on it, your staff will have to click on that product to find out if it's available in the stock or not. What it does is this: if the product is not in stock, software eVitalRx basically gives you a bounce report that this is the product that people are searching at your pharmacy, that your team is searching at the pharmacy, but could not dispense it because it was zero in stock. I'll also show you the bounce report, what it looks like, and so on and so forth. And you can actually, gain insights. See, if you're running a multiple pharmacies, or if you're running a pharmacy and you're not at the pharmacy all the time, one of the big things that you need is to understand what new products are being required or demanded that you are not carrying and you're not being able to sell. This is a completely setting based. Certain people love this, certain people love the other thing I mentioned. It's completely up to you. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of products here because I want to show you a couple other features. I'm going to add one more, LTK-AM, and then I will say Telma AM or something. I want to show you something, so I'm asking my colleague here. There it is. So I added these 3 products. You can change discount, all kinds of stuff. Those are simple things. I don't want to spend so much time on it. You can see a couple other things about the patient dues of his family members as well. Loyalty program, if they are being redeemed. All the details, I'm not going to walk you through. These are all things that probably you are very familiar with it. You can look at these breakdowns of the bill and all those things. But what I want to really show is this red blinking thing that you see on the screen, say recommendation. You click on it, and it will tell you that there are products sitting in your stock, in your store, in your medical store, that are exactly in same composition. However, they are expiring earlier. So if you could convince a patient to swap, you can actually do it. There are also another option there. It's a based margin. So if the same product but a different batch has a better margin, it will also show. This is all dummy data, so of course. And in case patient cannot afford whatever the bill comes out to be and are asking you to help them with a lower priced medications, you can also swap that out into something else. The most important thing to me is that you don't have to actually do anything. You can just simply say apply, and it will actually go and swap the both products automatically. So this is one of the biggest, very strong feature. The last thing I want to mention is we recently actually started report. I think it's already in production. If it's not, it's going to be there in a week or two, where it also reports you that which staff of your pharmacy is actually helped you using this tool reduce the expiry, reduce or improve the margins, and so on and so forth. So if you want to put an incentive program for your staff, or at least do performance evaluation for your staff, is a great feature. I must say you should use it. Couple other awesome features that we have is one is the refill reminder or pill reminder. You can actually set on a pill level that when do you want to remind them on certain time of the day. It will remember it for the next time you dispense the same item. You can actually go through this half a pill or whatever, and it will actually, sorry, there it is. And it can actually just by the arrow key, you can actually do it. And it will, on basis of the dosing that you mentioned, it will also automatically set this refill reminder on top of it. So if I say, if I have to take more, sorry, I would just say 0 or sorry, my bad. And let's say I'm also going to say 0. So as you can see, I reduce my dosing and it will automatically say 10 days refill. So you can actually set that. What will happen on a 10th day of refill? I'll show you that as well. Let me just go ahead. And so there is a little icon here on top, and it will show you refill reminders that are due for today, for example, and then due for yesterday. If you forgot to do that, you can actually send them WhatsApp notification. You can also check as I already sent it or something. One thing we have not talked about so far is the patient application. eVitalRx, besides being the billing software, we also lean towards a lot of CRM features for you. So you can actually also ask your patients to download eVital application through your code. They will be connected to you. You can actually send them push notification. They can see the history. They can place order online that will only be sent it to you. So and so forth. That's lots of feature. I'm going to do the whole session on that separately. But if they have the application, they will also receive the push notification on that reminder that, hey, you're probably running out of your medication. It's time to refill your medications. If they click back, with one click, they will actually be able to place the order again at your pharmacy as well. I'll show you this up here. It says grow your business and orders online and things like that. It's a whole other subject which we will cover. The lastly, if you want to do pickup or delivery, we also have a lot of delivery tools. So we also have a multiple integrations with third party. Even if you have your own delivery team, we also have an application called Vitran for that. You can actually assign a delivery order to them. They will receive a pop-up notification. They can come to you. They can scan it. They can pick it up. They'll go to the patient. They will get a map directions. And most importantly, throughout the whole process, patient will actually get a real-time update. They can actually track, just like you would track your Uber ride coming to you, pick you up. They can actually track the delivery that you have assigned. It's all available. You don't have to pay anything extra upfront or anything. You just pay whatever you use. You pay about a rupee or 2 rupees, something like that, for each and every delivery. It's a very, very nominal cost. I must say we have done a lot of work in it. Please take an advantage of that as well. Lastly, couple of other things that these are simple stuff. Some other people want to change things the way they want to change. If you're receiving order from third party, you can also flag them here. We continue to add more integrations. I will mention that in a minute. We are actually working on 2 insurance company. One is very early, late in the stage. One is very early, where you will actually start receiving orders from them as well. And if you do, then this order source will be basically automatically tagged. So lastly, you can save an invoice, and what I can do, I can actually save an invoice, not a problem. And then if I go outside, if you have it on, it will also automatically send you a WhatsApp anyway. But in case if you want to send it again manually, you can do that. Even if you don't want to do manually, I just want to show you what it looks like when the patient actually receives a WhatsApp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open this URL, which is what the patient would receive. And this is what it will look like. So this is Vaibhav Jain. If the payment is not done, it will also be a proceed to payment. This is actually important because if they can pay through this, it's a payment gateway. Payment gateway is also part of our offering. You will receive it actually whether you want it or not. I mean, it's free anyway. Once they make a payment, the software will automatically reconcile that payment from due to credit card, UPI, whatever you want to do. There are product images, so patient, it helps patient to recognize the product. Most importantly, if you want to click at the actual invoice, they will also be able to look at the actual invoice. Again, the refill reminders are going to be labeled here and so on and so forth. And what you see is branding right now because this is our demo account. If you have your pharmacy, of course, it will be your pharmacy name and so on and so forth only. You will not have to worry about that. It's our name or anything. The only thing is it's going to be our number because WhatsApp integration is a nightmare to do for each and every client. The last thing I want to mention is payments. We also recently launched a product called Zero. What it essentially does, in my opinion, is that the only payment mode that somebody can manually assign is cash. If they want to do any digital payment, they click on it and it will automatically display the QR code on their POS machine, or you can also print it on your invoice, which I have not actually shown. Let me open it again. Sorry, my bad. I'm gonna open this again, and I'll show you the invoice what it looks like because there's one more thing I want to mention. It's not in here somehow for whatever reason. Anyways, an invoice on the right side, there would be a QR code which they can scan and make a payment. I think this is not there because of the dummy account because we cannot receive a payment on a dummy account. But they can also place an order online, automatically refill it and things like that. So, I think it's very, very critical. If you have multiple stores or if you have a large store that you cannot pay attention every time or you don't have a cashier or even if you have a cashier, because what it allows you to do is at the end of the day, payment reconciliations become extremely easy because the only thing you have to verify is actually, so I'll show you what it looks like. If I go to payment reconciliation, I would say, okay, let's go to payment reconciliation. And here there will be UPI transaction verified by zero, cash. So the only thing you have to verify is the cash. So if you click on, when you end the shift, it will ask you to calculate the cash and the whole payment cancellation will be done. So this was all about, sales invoicing and so on and so forth. I think there are a lot more things here that I've actually not shown you, but you can explore on your own. And it will, one thing I've not talked about much is the online order, which we will talk about separately, where all of this sales invoice. So when somebody sends you an online order, and you can actually create a draft and you can accept it. They will get notifications, so on and so forth. All of those things are there. As far as the payments are concerned, you get payment links, pay gateways, automatic reconciliations, delivery application, tracking, all kinds of sort of things is in there as well. Last thing I want to talk about sales one more thing is, let's say you might have noticed that there is something called sales order. And if I click on it, a little screen like this opens. This is not much talked about a feature, very frankly, because it requires certain type of operations, but I will talk about it because I think a lot of pharmacies that I think can be benefited from this, but are not aware of this. It is a whole picking system. This is a complete picking system. And when the customer walks into your store, what you would do is you would actually create a sales draft, whatever the product they are asking for. And then based on that item, once you push the button, once you submit it, across the store, there will be little devices and there will be people, handling that particular shelf or rack or something like that. They will get a notification on their phone that this is the product that I need to be picking and submitting to the counter. They will have a color code. So if you've seen closely, there's a white code, there's a bit of I can't tell which color is this, but there's a pink color as well. If I click and, if there is a new order pops in, I can add a new order. There's a couple more orders here as well. These are the order. I already sent it out to my store pickers and I'm receiving at the counter. And what the idea is that if you are having a different color beans, that colors will be going to that particular beans. And it's actually pretty cool because then you can simply scan the item. And as you scan the item, it will actually be removing. We have a different video whole on it. I'll maybe somehow I'll do the management, the proper demo of this thing. But I wanted to give you an idea anyway. When the all of the order is covered, this will automatically go away and print itself. And this is the complete picking system. We have a customer, Maruti Medical in Bangalore. They've been using this for 3 years, and it's awesome feature. I think some of them are, as you say, it's tagged online order, but this is at the counter, so doesn't really matter. But I think this is kind of thing you might see when you go to McDonald's or something. When you place an order and there's a guy in the back, there's a screen over there and they see it. But here, the screen is with the guy who's actually dispensing it. Well, on the mobile or a tablet or something, all throughout the store, if there are pickers. So this is helpful for people who have a larger store. They manage it, the whole thing by locations, or multiple floors or something, because it makes very easy for patients just to place an order and then everything is received over there, rather than one person taking the order and then going up all across the store. It's basically dividing the picking into small pieces across the store based on the location. So like I said, we'll have a separate demo on this as well, but this is also there. You don't have to pay extra or anything. It's simply based on the staff logins and things. Uh, Again, other things are returns. We have a lot of settings in the returns as well. You will only allow the returns as a reference of the sale. So nobody can really manually create a return. They can only click on this and then they can create a return on that. You can also see the logs, which is one thing I have not talked about. So let's say if you have changed this particular bill multiple times. If you want to check the logs, you can actually check that. Of course, there's no logs here, but you can actually check the whole history of the, I'm going to see if I can find it, but if I guess I can't find it, but you can actually check the logs of the particular bill. As you might have noticed, pushed into ABBA, we are actually enrolling into ABBA ABDM initiative very soon. So this is coming very soon actually to the production as well. Right now, it's only available for demo. Last thing I want to mention in the returns, we also have validations that if a person, Vaibhav Jain, has taken Newtel quantities 3, he will never be able to return more than 3 quantities in sales return. So we have those kind of validations that I think a lot of people should take an advantage of it, because it will help you run a store very simplistically and very smoothly. All of that you get alerted anyway. If you do a lot of editing, if you do a lot of returns, suddenly as an owner, you'll be alerted on your phone. So this was, I think, the overview of sales. Next, we'll look at the, couple of other things like reports and short books and so on and so forth. So bear with me. This is going to be a long day, but we're trying our best to, equip you with all the unique things about our software. And I hope you enjoyed so far. So one of the thing, now that we have seen sales and purchases in complete detail, one of the most important aspect of running a pharmacy is managing your stock every day and making sure that whatever you require in your pharmacy is being procured on time. It is being procured on the right time and also from the right distributors, right, at the right prices as well. We did give you some hints in terms of pricing when we looked at the purchase analysis and scoring all each purchase and things. Now we are going to look more into what to procure, where to procure it from, so on and so forth. So there is something called Shortbook in our software. It could be known as order book, demand book, or whatever you are recognizing it with. But essentially, what it is it's a collection of items that you need to procure. I have seen over these years, I have seen a lot of people using this very religiously. But I have also seen that most of the people do not use this at all. And people usually write down in a notebook and something. There are a couple of problems with the notebooks. The one is that you cannot keep track of it. You don't know if the product actually received or not later on. And most importantly, which in my opinion is one of the best features we have, is sometimes customer actually ask you that, please, can you please order this product for me? And then you do order it. And then if it does get delivered later in the day, somebody who might be talking to the customer may not be working at that moment of the time. And the second person actually forgets to call the patient, to remind them. In the meantime, patient keeps calling you or something. So it's a poor experience for everybody. Either patient has to call often or patient just does not get notified at all. that the product has been received. So one of the things we have done in this short book, which we will get into a lot more details, but this is one my favorite features I want to point out right away. When you add a product to this, which you can just simply type here and add it, there's a little icon here on the right side, and you can click on that icon. You can type anybody's number. I can go back to our colleague Vaibhav Jain here, and I can just submit this. And what it does is that whenever this Doloco gel is procured into my software, into my purchase, automatically Vaibhav sir will get a notification or an SMS on their phone, both actually. We are also working with IVR system to integrate so that he actually receive a call. It will basically say Doloco gel at your pharmacy, whatever your pharmacy name is available now. You can come and pick it up. So this allows two things. One is that customer does not have to call you often. And two, even if you have people who are switching between the shift or something, from the customer perspective, it's taken care of immediately, easily. There is one more thing on the right side. It's a bit of a icon for the watch, the clock. These are basically logs. Um, Sometimes if one product is being added by different people for different reasons, all of these new additions or deletions or whatever it is being taken care by these logs. Now let's take a look at a little more closely of what this short book does. You can add new items. I said you can, distributor is selected based on certain criteria. So one of the criteria is that whoever I bought it from the last time, please just give it to me, that same distributor, or whoever I've been, getting it from the best margin. You can also do this. We have taken Sahai, the AI-driven system that we developed, to a whole nother level of our distributor selection, which I will talk about in a minute. First, I want to talk about what it does without Sahai, and then I want to mention that how Sahai actually makes it even better, right? Of course, you can still buy the software without needing any AI. You can just buy our capsule package, and there is pretty much no AI involved there. You can just use it. It's still very smart. It's still very smooth and easy and everything. But I'll also mention that how Sahai as an add-on or a injection plan that we have, how does it actually make it even better than everything else? So, one of the things is that you can add products, you can change the quantity, you can, whatever you do, and you can manage the status as well. So if you do place the order to the distributor, you can actually manage the status here as well. Now, one cool thing I think I would suggest that and lots of filters. So if you want to navigate through all these products, you can navigate that what happened to this and that product that I inserted in. But there's actually a better way. We actually developed this graphical way where if you are a guy, if you are a manager or a person who's responsible for procurement of the products, you probably want to look at something like this. And it shows that what are the item status by time range. There are products that are sitting in my short book for more than 7 days and still pending. They're probably either they're done, either I'm not getting those products at all, or even if I'm getting it, then I should really focus on those. Now, this is a dummy account, so of course the data looks like this, but it tells you the priority. Where do you want to spend your time and make sure that these products are being managed immediately? Then there are some item status by distributor. If the distributor is not selected at all, so then it's a big red. And if there are 10 items about worth 25,000. So, and here's the coolest part, in my opinion. If you click on it, it actually opens up a window along with filtering those products only that are not having a distributor. So as you can see, all the products on this screen does not have a distributor because that's what I need to work on. So vice versa, you can click on any of these little blocks and it will only open that particular item list with that particular criteria. So if I want to know that why Mahavir Medicils, I have 3 items pending. So I could have this item pending because I have not really called them and placed my orders. You can do that. Here's all of the items along with the details and things like that. One more thing I want to mention is that last thing, that in this thing, a lot of people, what they do, right? A lot of people, what they do is they go back to, they call them, and that's it. They call, let's say, Marvel Medicines, and I said, okay, I already placed the order, and I can just mark this as, sorry, sorry, my bad. I can say mark as order. So basically, I placed an order already. Now, here I have some settings, and that's what I want to actually talk about. You cannot, there are certain there are settings in the system that allows you to only actually place the orders through a PO system. What it means is that, as you can see on the top, it says auto PO. If I click on this thing, what it will do, it will actually say total pending items are 23. You applied certain filters, total items that will be covered about 11. And if I click on confirm, it says there are 8 different POs will be created. So probably there are 8 different distributors in it, and 11 items are going to be created. These what do you call these covered. 12 items will be ignored. Why? Because I could not find a proper distributor. So that way you have to, basically assign a distributor yourself manually. Of course, without distributor assignment, we cannot really send a PO or generate a PO at all. But these 11 items, which already has a distributor allocated, and yet they are in a pending state, we will create a PO. We will send out the PO. So I'll also show you what the POs looks like. If I go to PO list, these are all the POs. So some of the POs, as you can see, is pending. I can open it. I can take a look at those things. And, let's say this PO particular distributor is one product. I can actually, when I'm talking to the distributor, or however you communicate to the distributor, some people communicate through email. So you can send an email, you can do WhatsApp, or if you think you made a mistake, you can delete the PO. Of course, you can only delete the PO if it is in pending state. If the PO is already sent out to the distributor, you cannot delete it anymore. Because, and sorry, that way, why? So one question I want to address before we move further is why go through this PO thing? The reason is couple-fold. If you remember when you were talking about distributors and purchase, there was one thing in the purchase I mentioned that there was, let me actually show you. So in the purchase on the top part, if I go to the new purchase, there's a little PO thing here. You can actually attach a PO. The reason to do this is whatever I have ordered, whatever orders I have placed, in comparison to that, what I have received, I would like to take an account of those things. And what was the TAT, total turnaround time? How much time did you take since I sent you the PO to fulfill the PO? Or if I sent you 13 items, did you actually deliver 13 items? And if I ask you for quantities, are you dumping any products into my store, or are you bouncing any products to my store? So and so forth. So PO, in my opinion, no matter maybe you are using Pharmarec, maybe you're using some Retailio or whatever you are using, or your salesperson, or at the end of the day, in my opinion, you should still use PO no matter what. One last thing about PO, we are working on launching a distributor software very, very soon, actually. So you can easily imagine a scenario where if your distributors are on eVitalRx as well, eVital Supply as well, in that case, you will actually be able to see the availability of the product. So if I send this particular PO to a particular distributor, depending upon the inventory there, I can actually see what's available. Not only that, out of this PO, if I'm started receiving purchases, let's say some PO was huge PO. Certain people like to do procurement only once a week, and it's a huge PO, and that takes a long time for distributor to fulfill that. In this little next column, it will also show you how much of that product has already been received at your store. So there's a whole other video we will do about PO and all those things. Here you can look at distributor wise PO, item wise PO, but I don't want to go into more detail. Last thing in procurement, what I would like to talk about is what I mentioned earlier, is the distributor selection. So far what you see does not really much use Sahay. Now I want to talk about a few minutes for Sahay, how AI is helping you to decide those things. So a lot of people, what they do, they prepare the short book based on, they look at through everyday sales, and they go by one quantity, and then add the products and things like that. While it works fine, I have two problems with it. One, it's laborious, takes too much time at night to go through each and every sales bill. That's one. The second problem I have is it's not really a science or even a methodology or a system at all. It's, you simply just go doing it yourself. And it does require a lot of owner's own discretion on things that I would like to procure it, I would not like to procure it. So what we have decided is to build a very, very automatic, AI-driven, machine learning-driven min-max system. So I'm sure all of you have heard of min-max system. You can use, and there is one here as well. You can see minimum stock. The other problem is there's so many products. Certain products come into the picture, some products get discontinued, some people sort of just go out of demand. Some products are introduced new. Also, there's a seasonality. So there's a lot of dynamicity. The things keep changing. The min-max are not stable for each product forever. And when you run a store that has 5,000, 10,000 SKUs that you deal with it, it's extremely hard to maintain those min-max and update them as and when required. So what we did in Sahai, this is a bit of a Sahai flavor for you here, which we will also do more detailed video, is something called auto min-max. You can actually set up a lot of this min-max criteria, and you can actually, based on your risk tolerance and how much stock would you like to carry and so forth, we actually calculate using the history. We get rid of the outliers. So let's say some customer has bought a lot of products from you, we get rid of those things. So Sahai helps you with that. But what I was wanted to talk about is distributor selection as well. So not only Sahai tells you how much to buy, what to buy, and so on and so forth, but the last piece is that you also can decide what distributor, what should be the criteria to select your distributor. And the way it works is it's disabled because of different reasons, but I can actually, let me go back here. I'll just show you anyway. You can actually use three different criteria. If you use our software, we ask for distributors rating after the purchase. That's one. Credit notes. If you have an outstanding credit notes, you probably want to use them first. And then, of course, margin discounts and schemes. In future, we will be adding a couple of more things. One, what is the level of batch accuracy? Two, what kind of TAT are they delivering? So on and so forth. So this algorithm, now here you can actually adjust your weight. So let's say if you don't care about the ratings at all, you put 0 and we won't consider rating while it comes to distributor selection route. So right now, a lot of people, the way they select the distributor is, this is what I used to buy from, this is what I want to buy from. Well, it is fine. You're not really using the intelligence of the software, or you're not really procuring in a very optimal manner. So this is what it allows you to do. You can also fine tune that I only want to deal with the distributors in my city. I only want to deal with the distributor with GST and so on and so forth. So this is one thing Sahai can help you with. Again, Sahai will have a whole other section of videos on its own. But this is one flavor I wanted to leave you with, that as far as the procurement is concerned, Sahai is doing phenomenally well. Actually, a lot of people love our approach to procurement, because I think that's one of the biggest problem with the running a pharmacy, and I think Sahai will help you a lot on that front. The second point I want to talk about, so sales, purchase, short book, procurement. One last thing I want to talk about, not last thing, but like one thing I want to talk about is, I'm pretty sure you're waiting for, is reports. Everybody loves reports. There's nothing wrong with it. Of course, you need to run a business. We have a lot of these reports. We don't have as many reports as you probably are very familiar with it, because we think this is enough, first of all. And the second is that we have created something really unique, which I will show you in a minute. How does it work? So all the basic reports are already done: GST reports, margin reports, stock reports. One thing I didn't mention in the short book, when you saw, there's really one cool feature. Let's say we added this particular patient, Vaibhav Jain. A lot of time customer asks you to bring things and then they don't show up. We also have a report on that, short book reminder report. This is the report where you will see if the customer has actually asked you to procure the product. But if that product has not been sold to that customer in next 2 days or so, you will also get that as a part of the report, so that that I need to send this back to distributor before I have to pay for it, or before it becomes non-moving or expiry or something like that. So we do a lot of those things that we learn from the customer. Now, all the reports are there in my opinion. However, if you're not happy with certain things, or if you want to change columns, you want to change some criteria, or just build a new report that you have unique insight about, no problem at all. I'm going to show you something that we really recently launched, and it's been absolutely major hit for all of our customers. They love it and they swear by it. So I'm going to show it to you. I think you can also, even without Sahai, even without the, Sahai as an add-on AI version, that is in capsule plan or something, or tablet plan, I think you can still create about 3 or 4 reports from your own, ideas. If you want more than that, you'll probably have to upgrade for Sahai. So how does it work? So it says stay ahead with infinity, because we wanted to create reports that are absolutely infinite in nature. So sorry, I skipped it. You can actually click on things that you would like to have an idea about. So if it's related to sales, purchase, item ledgers, or advanced report, let's just keep it simple, sales. I'm going to go with sales. You can have B2B and all those things as well. So once I go there, you can have a group buy, right? So let's say here's what I want to do. I want to know weekly and I want to know, let's say staff wise, let's say staff. So I can type, if you go here, you can see all this kind of different criteria that you can click here, staff. And then I want to know sales amount or sales, not gross, net sales or gross, doesn't matter actually. And then I want to know for last previous month. I say click here. Now I see this, and I see that one of my colleague had oh, she apparently they have all the staff member is there. So now I have every staff member and I have sales amount as well here, but I would like to know. So let's say this was a previous month. Let's say I want to do this financial year. I can just go totally change that. I can have more staff member. Apparently, I have some staff that were not there. But let's say I want to do this on a weekly basis. I want to know that weekly is, one particular guy, let's call this person, whatever, Mohit Bhai Chauhan is actually improving or not. So I can actually add another layer as a column and say, how about him doing this thing on a weekly basis? I can go back and I can click on it. Now you can see each staff member has weekly. This is how they have done. But then I change my mind. I say, no, but I actually would like to know the weekly first and then break it down by the staff. I can simply go here and change the order, and I can click on review again, and boom, there it is. 6th of January to 10th of January, because that is the first week of the year. Janvi Chelani. 20th, second week, this person, so on and so forth. This is last year, so you can go all the way there, and there is also more pages down here as well. So I can do all those things. As you can see, it's pretty smart that it actually also wrote the name for that report. Even if I want to add, let's say I want to know not only how much sales they did, but how many counts of sales invoice they did. So if I go to bill number, for example, and it will say count, right? Because it makes no sense to sum the bill number. It makes sense to do count of a bill number. I can click on it. So I can say Janvi Chelani only made one invoice that is worth 55 rupees. Rohit Sharma did 3 worth 800 rupees. Let's say for whatever reason, I don't want to add one particular staff. And I go in the filter and I say, staff, I don't want to include Puja Gode. And I say exclude Puja Gode. And I apply, there is no Puja Gode anymore. Right? So you can do all of this thing on your own, have nothing to call us for. We don't have to create another report. You don't even have to download. Now, this is all preview. You can actually save it. So you can download Excel, download CSV. Will also bring you PDF in case you want it. But you can save this thing. That's the critical thing. Now, when you come back next time, so let's say, and by the way, so there is one more thing. This was a fixed, this financial year. Now, this financial year is not over yet, right? It will go up to 31st March. So what happens next week if you come back here? Is it going to be same data? No, it will actually update this data. So automatically, because your custom range is regarding the relativeness, instead, if you actually do completely single time range, like I just want to know, let's say I want to know whatever, let me go here and I say I want to know this and that, and that's it, right? And I say so preview, it only now if you save it, it will actually remember that range only. So usually it never works. You don't really need that. You usually need something like this week, this month, this previous month, whatever you want to do it, you can do it. If you're looking for something specific, of course, if there's no data, it won't show anything. But let me see, because today is the first day of the month. I'm going to go back to the previous one. That's how I'm going to see it. Now, one coolest thing that I personally love it is once you save it, and you can say whatever you want to. By the way, if you want to change name, you can change name. You can save this, and I say yes. Now, here is the cool thing. If you go here, there is a little pop-up that opened up. You can add emails of your team members. And what it does is that it can actually allow to alert you. So for example, let's say I have this report, but then I have to check every week and this and that and whatnot. Let's say I want to set up an what do you call this alert that every time if somebody makes bills for whatever reason, more than 10 and more than 1,000 rupees, send me an alert onto my email. So I can actually create a condition based on that thing, sales amount, and it says greater than and say 1,000, right? And it's you can actually build a whole condition between the two, and it's all complicated, but not complicated. But you can actually, if you have, you must. So let's say I want to say total condition, and then if it's bill greater than 10, and I want to say in between, it's supposed to be either that or the other, and then I can change this. Oops, sorry. I would like to know both condition has to be triggered. And then once I submit it, it has condition in it. If that condition is triggered, and it will check every month. So I want to check every week, let's say. On Monday morning, 10 a.m., it will check. And if it triggered, then Vaibhav will get an email automatically saying this is what the condition was triggered. Once I save the alert, you don't have to do anything. Now, every Monday morning, 10 a.m., it will check whether that those conditions that I mentioned has been triggered or not. If it's triggered, I will automatically get an email. So idea is that, we look at the reports too much. The idea is that if you build a good report and if you build a good alert, you probably only want alert. Whenever you get an alert, you can go back and check the whole report if you want to. If you don't get alert, that means there is nothing suspicious going on at all. One of our customer did this thing for schedule. He had a problem that he wanted to put the scheduled drugs, and if in case his employee is not adding the prescription images in a scheduled drug report, I mean the scheduled dispensing, he would like to be alerted. And we were checking that for every 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes, the most he could be delayed by, let's say his staff created an invoice and there is a scheduled H1 drug and he did not put a prescription in it. Within less than 15 minutes, he would get notified that your staff created a bill such that it does not have prescription attached to it. So that's kind of a very powerful disease. We are going to do the whole other session separately on this thing as well. So you become more powerful in this. But this is Infinity Report. I think you are allowed to have 3 reports in your capsule package as well. If you would like to get more than that, you go and upgrade for Shah. So that's it for the report and short book. We are going to talk more things about med guide and distributor payments and whatnot in the next session. So welcome to another session of the product demo. As you can see, the product demo is getting too long, and we have to do this in multiple sessions. I have Avi Patel with me. He'll be observing me and witnessing the demo, because in case if I miss out any details, he'll be more than happy to chime in. So in this section, we so far we talked about dashboards, basic product design, product philosophy, sales purchase, short book, and other things. In this session, I would like to take upon a different aspect of the product that makes eVitalRx very, very unique. One of the thing day one we've been decided to do eVitalRx is how can we help retail pharmacies to become omni-channel, become more customer service oriented, to be able to compete in a digital world where the world is moving more and more online. And one of the thing that we have offered from day one is a customer dedicated app. What it means is that you as a pharmacist can actually get an application that you can ask your ask your patients to install on their phone, register via your QR code or your designation code, so that it gets your patient gets connected to your pharmacy. And what it means is that if they download eVital application using your QR code or a promo code, uh, basically your patient and your pharmacy is connected, so that patient can actually place orders online from the app that is eVital. So the application that you will be using is eVitalRx, but what they will be using is eVital. We might do some name change for this app, but it will work exactly like the way it works right now. And it allows them to check the product availability at your store, check for alternatives, place orders, receive patient reminder, even the history of all the orders that they have fulfilled at your pharmacy. Even if they went to your pharmacy in person, as long as they use the same phone number to create an invoice, they will be able to see the whole history. They can place reordering with one click, and so on and so forth. And I can also show you how the app works, but I think it's pretty simple. What I do want to show you is how it works on your side when patient is actually placing the order to your pharmacy. So I'm going to share a screen. This the same portal that you've been looking at it for a while. So if you go to something called BYOB, it stands for Build Your Own Brand. There are three sections here which I'm going to talk about. One of them is e-orders, which is what the orders that you receive from your patients through an application. Now, one thing I would be clear, we have helped dozens of clients to build their own application as well, which exactly works in a very similar fashion, but it bears the name of their own pharmacy. So if you do not want to use eVital name for your patients, even though your patients will only be connected to your pharmacy, we do help various clients. I mean, we have helped dozens of pharmacies across the country to build their own application as well, and we can probably do the same for you as well. But it will work regardless similarly. So when a patient is actually placing an order to your pharmacy, it will populate here. You can see a few tabs here. They're all inquiries that are the fresh new orders that you just received. Currently, I don't have any orders. I already accepted it. Then it basically progresses through a series of staging. First, they will have to accept the order. You will have to accept the order. Uh, at every stage of the way, when you process something, your patients will actually receive a push notification on their phone saying that order has been accepted and so on and so forth. So kind of order you're telling your customers that this product you will be receiving. Once you accept it, you can actually open the order. It will look something like similar to this. If there is a stock, if there is no stock, it will highlight it that you don't have stock. You can short book if you want to process it for the later. Assume it for a second that if it did have a stock, then it will automatically, you can actually create an invoice from here as well. um, what I would like to show, let me try to get another order. So this is another order. Let's say this Chandni Reshma, and I would say this order has been accepted, the product availability and all those things. So let's say there is two products here, Thyronome and Dolo, and I do have both of them in stock. I can actually process that or assign manually here. What does assign manually means? Let's say you are running multiple stores and you are an HO yourself, you are a main office or a customer center or whatever, and you want to assign this particular order to this one particular store. So first one is yourself. This is the same account that I'm using right now. On the left side, it will also show you the availability. So product availability, it will also show you the distance that it is far away from a particular, patient address. In this case, somebody is already assigned an order to this particular pharmacy for whatever reason. Usually, of course, that would not happen. It will be assigned closest to distance and availability. One thing I do want to show you, tell you is also we do this automatically as well. So some pharmacies, when we work with them, if they have multiple locations, they would like to keep in control over how the order will be assigned to a particular pharmacy. Some of them, they would like us to use algorithm based on distance and availability and assign it automatically. It's completely up to you. You can see the patient address in a Google map or something like that. But if it's already assigned, it's assigned. So now somebody using that particular account would be accepting this order and then processing it further. But as you can see, as an HO, as a somebody who is basically looking at the whole process, you can actually look at all those things at the same time. Like I said, everything that you see here will also be given in a white label application for your own brand that customers will never find out about eVital. If you do not want to invest much into that, you can use the eVital app, which is completely available across all the plants now. Actually, we used to have only for capsule and bigger plants, but now we actually also process for the tablet plants, because we believe that it's very good time for Indian pharmacies to become more customer oriented and do it. Uh, One thing I would like to mention is, if you look at back, sorry, let's go back me here. You might have noticed that there are some other logos here as well, and this is what I want to talk about next. So if I go back to BYOB, and if I go to this section called Grow Your Business, um, as you can see, we have three things listed here. This is very soon. I'm recording this thing in early February 2025. We are partnering up with three different entities as of now. There are three different things. We're gonna start with different cities as well. So Bajaj Finserv, a famous insurance company, we might be starting with Pune. Then Visit Health, this is also an insurance company. We might be starting with Bangalore, and then Pilo is a quick commerce company. We're starting this in Ahmedabad. What essentially all three does is that they will be sending you orders to be fulfilled. We have spoken separately about our integration with third party 3PL logistics, third party logistics, um, you know, Express, B Sport or Borzo, Dunzo, delivery, all kind of delivery partners. But when you receive an order from this kind of third parties, like insurance company or a quick commerce company, essentially, if you look back here at e-orders, it will show up here with that logo on it that this is the particular order that you have received it from. So if you think about it, it actually does not matter whether you are receiving an order from your particular app or a third party application, right? As long as you are receiving an order. Now, third party application, there might be some criteria that they want you to abide by. For example, you could not. So I'll actually let me see if I can open this thing. It is already activated, so it won't let me open it again. But if there was, something to set up, couple of things that you want to be sure of is that you have negative sales off, your stock is up to date, your stock is correct. Because if these third parties are sending you orders and if they result into a lot of bounce, it will affect your ratings and it will affect your future receiving of new business from this third party application. The idea is that if you are if somebody is a Bajaj Finserv insurance holder and if they want to place an order through a Bajaj Finserv application, eVitalRx has now started integrating with these three entities and you will be receiving orders from them as well. So, for example, if you are sitting in Pune and somebody in Pune has Bajaj Finserv insurance and they would like to place an order for medications, Bajaj Finserv via eVitalRx integration, it will directly pop into your e-order section right here with Bajaj Finserv logo notched to it. We'll be doing series of calls for this topic. I think this is a big topic that will shape up next our business over next few years. And this is the one thing we are also talking. We are already talking to one more insurance company actually as well. Currently, all of these orders are usually being fulfilled by Tata 1MG or Apollo or something. I think eVitalRx wants to be leader in this things that and bring this business to our local pharmacies that we work with, and you guys are our clients. So we want to integrate this. This is the technology we have actually very at forefront of. Nobody's done such a good integrations. I think you will see soon by the time this video go into production, there might be something out there already into production. But this is you are really getting a first peek at all these things. Pilo is a quick commerce company here based in Ahmedabad, and what they will be doing is they will be advertising and getting orders from customers, whoever wants a quick delivery. You do not have to deliver anything. You as a chemist, you are supposed to do a couple of things. One, making sure the prescription is compliant and making sure all the compliance are in checks. Two, preparing the order as per the product requirement that you have received in the order, making sure the batches are correct and the product is undamaged and so on and so forth, and keeping it ready in a time so that third party delivery partner can come and pick it up and deliver on time. So usually turnaround time they shoot for is 30 minutes to 60 minutes. So we probably have 10 to 15 minutes to make sure that everything is ready. And because of our integration, they will only be sending you orders that are actually available at your store, right? So most important thing for all these three and future integrations is making sure your stock is absolutely correct. I'll also be talking about reconciliation tools very soon, because I think one of the biggest challenge pharmacies have is that we cannot keep the stocks correct. And I think there are a couple of guidelines that I would like to do a separate video on that. How do you ensure your stock is correct? One is daily stock reconciliation. We have tools for that. Annual stock reconciliation. We have tools for that. Turning off negative sales is a very critical one. Making sure that if you can use QR codes, that is 100% very preferable, because it allows you to do billing very accurately in terms of batch and everything. And a couple of other things like making sure the purchase is being done while CSV, And because these negative sales are not allowed, you always do purchase probably better than, sorry, earlier than a sales invoice is generated. So simple things. I'm not saying that 100% accuracy is critical, but more accurate the stock is, more likely you'll be receiving the orders, because the product is available in your stock. And also, there will not be very few bounce, and all of that works as an engine, as a feedback loop to receive more and more orders, right? So if the pharmacy is receiving the orders, but very often because of the inaccurate stock, it is resulting in a bounce, it will affect the future. So these all three third party companies, three and many more to come over next year or two, they're all going to use the feedback mechanism, where if your pharmacy is getting a lot of, what do you call, the bounce, they'll be asking us to reduce the allocation of the orders to that particular pharmacy, and perhaps in future may have to blacklist certain pharmacies. So make sure that, we would like to provide this opportunity to get new business. This is a completely new stream of business you will be getting. There will be some terms and conditions you will to agree upon, and so on and so forth. There will be a payment settlement cycles as well. In cases like Pillow, it's less than a week. In cases like Visit Health, Bajaj Health, it could be 15 days to 30 days. But eVitalRx, this is one huge initiative for 2025 that we are going for, where up until now we have not participated into this, but now we actually started working with third parties. One thing I want to be extremely cut and dry and very clear about: this does not mean that your data or your stock availability is being compromised at all. The way usually it works, not usually, actually, sorry, the way it works is that this third party send us the order requirement with patient location, patient details, insurance details, and the items. And our algorithms, eVitalRx algorithms, allocates an order to you, right? So it's completely in possession of us, just like it always has been. We draw a very clear line over there. We draw a very strong Lakshman Rekha that our client's data does not leave our servers at all. They'll be the one sending us the order details from the client location, patient location, and the details, and we'll be deciding which pharmacy will be getting the orders from. However, they do have a say into our tuning the algorithm, so that making sure that if the product is getting bounced or the orders are getting bounced at one particular pharmacy a lot, there will be some SLA, service level agreement, that you will not give orders to pharmacy that has more than, let's say, 10% bounce. But the data, as far as the data, your customers' data, your inventory data, everything is 100% secure with us only. And that's actually the number one thing we talk about, that we do not sacrifice anything around that. For people who have known us for a long time, um, they have known very well, like even the integrations like PharmaRec, we have actually denied integrations like PharmaRec, because PharmaRec wants to get to sacrifice that data integrity. And as much as even my own clients are telling me that, why don't we integrate with PharmaRec, my answer to them is, the day they agree upon respecting our clients' data and sanctity of it, will be more than happy to do integration. Until then, we will not, even though it means losing some of our businesses, we will not sacrifice that at all. But I think, to summarize this is going to be a big initiative in 2025. I think finally we are getting to the point where we bring new business to our customers. 100% only available to eVitalRx customers only. Um, we do not have stores. We do not intend to build stores. We have zero interest in building a stores. This is purely a tech integrations, right? And please take an opportunity, or please take this opportunity very sincerely. I think that there is something, if a typical pharmacy does their job right, I think they can easily see increase in 10, 20, 30% increase in their business overall. I'm really excited about this direction that we are going to. Again, to summarize, of course, you can still have your own application. You can have still your vital application or white label application. These are just third party application that you can be also getting business from. It will work exactly same way. Things will be very similar. So when you go back here, you will barely notice that there are other parties that you are also getting a business from. Of course, all the settlements, all the payments, everything will be taken care by us as well. Of course, there will be some charges and things. Um, so this is about BYOB. There is one last section here, which we decided to launch very recently. There is something called Phygital. it basically allows you to create a set of items. So think about a shelf in your store where you can actually create a selection of items, a collection of an item, and then you can actually assign a QR code to it, and you can hang that QR code onto the shelf. If a patient comes to your pharmacy, they can scan it, they can actually get to know about all the collection, any offers that you might be running for that collection, things like that. And lastly, based upon the QR codes that are being scanned in your pharmacy, we can also give you analytics that which particular collection or QR code is being scanned more often, so that you kind of know that this is the product collection that people are actually quite excited about. So this is where we actually marry physical and digital aspect, or the digital experience of the patient, into something called what we call digital. So these are some of the things that are about building your own brand and building your own business and growing your business, retaining your customer, helping your customers to doing better. And like I said, 2025 is going to be really about building your own brand, as well as growing your business through these third party integrations that we are offering now. So now that we have talked about sales, purchase, short book, even BYOB, one thing I would like to talk about is this section called inventory. There are a couple of options here. I'm going to start with data migration. Although this is kind of a weird place to start a data migration discussion, but I think it's worth spending a couple of minutes. One thing we have done very well in last few years is how we can actually help you transport your data over to eVitalRx in a very seamless manner. So if you're using any software, um, what I would suggest is you go with the data migration, where we can actually port all of your data here into the eVitalRx within less than 2 hours. So the way it usually works is the day you commit to port over, you provide us a data at night when your shop is closed, and next morning when you come in, you should have all the data ported over. We do both kind of thing. We can only do masters and inventory only, and even if you want to do bill to bill migration, that is your old sales purchases, all those things you want to port over, you can also do that. It's highly recommended you can do bill to bill migration. um, we support all this kind of software. Please go through any software that you might be using right now and make sure that we are covering certain things. So certain softwares we may not be able to cover other bill to bill migration. All the famous software we probably also bring bill to bill migration. I mean, you can see this is the bill to sales and purchases. You can see almost 80% of the product, 80% of the existing software we actually support. Couple of things I want to mention in the data migration. When your data is migrated, please do spend some time in mapping the data, because if your masters are still being used from the masters from the past, it will probably cause you some problems eventually. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you spend some time early on mapping this data. Second is, a lot of time people say, why am I spending all this money and extra money for the data migration? The reason is that um, and some people says, okay, fine, I'll do the opening stock and things like this, which is fine, which is completely okay with us. One thing I would mention also, that it's very, very hard for a pharmacy to actually add all the stock manually. There is one easier way. This is my favorite way. I think everybody should adopt that. Is if you say, let's say, for example, you never use the software, or let's say you actually use the software, but you never really kept the data correctly and you want to start fresh, which is perfectly fine. I really respect that. There is one suggestion I think in terms of how it should be done. It's very unlikely that you'll be able to enter all your data at a time, right? Because pharmacy is already hours business, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week you are spending. You won't get 2 3 days off that you can actually input all your data manually. One way to do this is, if you start using UiPath, all the purchases are extremely easy to enter. The way you should do it, in my opinion, is you enter all the new purchases. When the new purchase comes to your store, you take a marker, you put a mark on the strips and the bottles and everything. When you are doing the sales, if the strip or the bottle or anything has a mark on it, you basically make a billing into eVitalRx because the purchase is already been entered. Usually, it takes about a month or so for any pharmacies to roll over their 80% of inventory. So that means within a month, you will be getting rid of all the old stock, and pretty much all you have in the system or the store is marked items. And then if it's much more likely that you can spend 4 or 5 hours to enter all the products that are actually not marked, that is from the old stock. This, in my opinion, will take a month, but I think it is the most practical way. I've seen lots and lots of pharmacies would say, I'm going to take a day off and I'm going to enter all the data myself. Doesn't work. It's very, very intense work. I do not quite recommend it. If you have 10 people working at your store, maybe it's possible, but if you have 10 people working in your store, you probably already have a software that you manage the data very well. So please be practical about it. If you do already have a good data in your current software, this is the page for you. We can migrate all the data easily into into this format, into this new software, and you will have absolutely seamless experience into using that. We also store your old names. You can search through those old names and so on and so forth. So there are lots of things. Please speak to one of our associates. They'll be more than happy to walk you through it. In the inventory section, there is a second one, which is one of my favorite one. Um, it says product insights and trends. One of the key challenge for running a pharmacy is to keep coming across new products every single day, whether it's FMCG, whether it's the drug items, changing trends into new product selection, things like that. And if you are not sitting at the pharmacy all the hours, it's very hard to keep track of new products. And the way we help this is we actually designed, there's a setting here, which you will have to turn off, which will stop showing you stock selection at the time of searches. So for example, if I go here in the sales, and if I type, let's say $650, for example, you can see the stock here. There's a setting which will actually make this disappear. What will happen is that when your staff is trying to make an invoice, they will have to click on this product to find out if the product exists in your store or not. And if the product is in zero stock, right? If it's the product is in zero stock and your negative sales are off, we count automatically as a bounce. And as a result, we actually create a report out of it. So I'm going to show you a report. Something looks like this previous month. And I want to see all the bounce product. And I can say all for now. And once I run this report, I can see all the products that are bounced. So somebody was searching for this product. The product was in zero in quantity, and hence we could not sell it. Not only this is about the counter sales, as you can see, all these different source where if you have a patient application, and let's say patient placed an order and they did not get to you, or patient is searching for the product and did not place the order. So all kinds of things that we are recording for you so that we can actually tell you that these are the products that are being demanded in one way or the other at your pharmacy, but it's not being fulfilled. What to do about this product, it's completely up to your call. Certain people like to add them to Shortbook from here. Again, it's completely up to you. I think this is one of the coolest features we have built. I think a lot of people believe that their staff will be taking care of recording all the mounts, but staff is busy in evening time and it's very subjective. Whatever you sort of experience as a bounce today, you will immediately order it, but you don't know what other products are being searched and not being able to dispense and not really recording in the system. So I think this is taken advantage of this feature. I highly recommend for if you are very, very keen into learning about bounce at your store, I highly recommend turning off this selection of stock showing into the system. Um, Third thing, which is very, very, very unique, and I don't think we have promoted this so far because we are also still working on building even a better version of it. But while I'm doing this demo, I'll go ahead and spend some time. It's called discount and offers. As a pharmacy, we all want to run some promotions, and we want to make sure that our POS system is actually implementing these offers at the time of sale, right? We have created something called offers. You can actually go here. You can actually look up the products. So let's say if I say FMCG items, and then I would say, for example, Himalaya, right? And then I can actually apply. Let's see some products opens up. Okay, DPC or maybe cosmetic has it. I'll try it one more time. Oops, maybe some other manufacturer. There it is. So there are 5 products that showed up. And let's say I want to run products on this Dabur products, and the type of offer I want to run is quantity or offer type is a BOGO, and I can actually have a validity as well, and I can actually also decide which particular stores that I want to apply to if I have multiple stores. There are minimum quantity, free quantity, so on and so forth. I can create an offer, offer title, I can give Dabur uh, BOGO, right? And I can just go ahead and create this offer. And let me see if I can create all the branch. I want to apply this to all the branch, and boom, I should be able to go. Oh, sorry, submit, and then I can just go and create the offers. This offer will apply to 5 items. Awesome. Now, if I go on the listing page, I can see the Dabur BOGO offer live. Um, I'm going to show you an example. So there's another one called BOGO. And if I click on it, it will show me what the offer is. I can actually look at the products as well. These are the 4 products, four products is being covered by this BOGO. And the way it works is this. So let's say there's the first one called Monison's Pain Balm. I don't know what that is, but I can try something like this. So let's say I'm creating an invoice for one of the client, and it says Monison's Pain Balm. I think this is the one. And let's say I created and I went in and I said add one quantity. Now remember, this was the product that has a BOGO offer, buy one, get one. And if you see, immediately there's a star popped up next to it. It's telling you there are some offers running for this product. I can click on it, it will show me add one more quantity to apply this offer. So right now it's 70 rupees. If I go ahead and I say Monison's Pain Balm one more time, and there it is, boom, automatically 50% discount, 36 rupees per 72 rupees altogether. So now you can see it's really applying buy one, get one offer. There is also a provision to do buy one, get something else. There is also a provision of a slab offer. If something is being bought for more than 1,000 rupees, you get certain discounts, so on and so forth. So this is something people are very excited about. We are still working on it. We are going to make it better for this thing. There are some changes that we are actually doing, but it is live. You can actually go ahead and try it if you want yourself. If your system is not showing it, please call us and we can turn it on for you. It's still in beta right now, but I wanted again because I was doing a demo, I wanted to show it anyway. Really cool feature. I think this is the kind of feature that we want to keep building for 2025, where it really, as a retail pharmacy, it really gives you a lot of tools to build promotions, offer, marketing, CRM, those kind of things that up to the level of any multi-million dollar startup online pharmacy kind of tools, right? Lastly, I know I talked about stock reconciliation in when we spoke about the BYOB. Uh, this is really one of the coolest feature, I think, in my opinion. Um, a lot of people want to do stock reconciliation. A lot of people want to actually make sure that stock is correct. The reality is that it's extremely hard to do because we work long hours, we work 7 days a week. It's extremely difficult to take out the time and to do the whole reconciliation auditing kind of thing. We have built two major tools for that. I'm going to talk about the first one right here. Uh, what it does is you can actually go into settings. You can actually create number of items you want to reconcile every day for each staff member. So 10, 12, 11, whatever you want to do it. And what will happen is that every day when your staff logs in the morning, they will actually get 10 items that they need to reconcile for, that they need to audit for. Those items are usually from the same location so that they don't have to go and run around the stores to do this. This should take you at least, at most 10 minutes for 10 items. They can easily count and they can actually edit. Um, that way, if you have, let's say, 5 staff member, and if you're doing this 20 items a day, that is 100 items a day altogether. And if you do this every day, within a month or two, you will have a very, very nice clean store. And most importantly, it is keep fixing itself every single day as you go on. Of course, you will get all the reports as well. How many items are already done, how many items are left, and then you can actually reset here so that it kind of goes back to the same cycle. You can actually look at the report that if your staff has missed something or not. Of course, this is a dummy account, so nobody's really doing a reconciliation on our account. You can also see the actual report of the mismatch. So I'm sure I don't think there's gonna anything be here, but oh, there it is. This is from something else as well. This is the impact. You can actually sort by the impact that which one is the product that system is showing 50 stock, the current stock is only one. Or system is showing only one, the current stock is 40. You can sort things here. You can look at things the way you want to look at it and report it by the staff member. One last thing, if you are paying attention here, there is in setting, there is something called also stock adjustment. Some people also want to give their own staff a stock adjustment right at the time of reconciliations. Not only they're counting, but if there is a mismatch, they can also adjust the stock right at that moment. It's completely up to you. It's the way you want to design it and you can use it. This is one stock reconciliation. This is daily process. I highly, if I were to open the store, this is something I would do every single day. All of my staff would be required to do it. It's going to be painful for a few days. They're going to complain about it. But trust me, if you would like to keep the stock correct, this is the way to go. And like I said, I think, as we start working with these third party orders, you will realize soon that how important the stock correctness is. This is one part. The second portion, which is annual auditing, it's more like annual year end kind of in nature. This is done by mobile. We have in our app. You go on the more and you can actually look up annual audit. You can click on it. It works very simplistically. Uh, it's only mostly useful for, I mean, you can use it for manual as well, but mostly useful for QR code people who have QR codes on the product. You're literally not even using your brain. You are scanning the whole store. And you don't have to stop the billing process at all. You can actually go through the whole store at a time. The only thing is this: when you are scanning a particular item, that particular item cannot be billed at the same time. So once you pick up another item, that item will be released and you can actually automatically bill. And then second, you don't have to do anything. It will not stop you from anything. You're just simply scanning the products. Whatever the products you scan the last is the one that will be prohibited from billing. The moment you pick up a next product, the previous product will be released and you can start billing. Not a problem. So 99.9% of the time, it will not require you to stop any billing. It will not require any issue. Most importantly, you can pretty much any of your staff can do it. All of the staff, you just equip them with mobile and they can just blindly keep scanning all the items and it will automatically provide you an audited report into the system. Really powerful system, really works very easily with staff. The way I think about is if you have 10 people working overnight for auditing, it should totally help you out with this auditing thing. Um, so please take an advantage of these two tools. I think that will help you with a lot of keeping the stocks clean. One couple of last thing I want to mention is if you go to inventory tab itself, there's a little of a e-commerce kind of style page here. You can actually mix and match any kind of um, criteria, and you will get the results here. There are some results on the top already. If we feel that the item is missing HSN code, not mapped items, item missing categories, things like that, we have already laid out for you. The color coding indicates the severity of it. There are lots of products that are missing the location. I'm going to go ahead and show something else. Um, at a product level, if you want to look at anything, you can, of course, click on it. You can see the whole product listing, purchase return, sales return, other metadata, barcodes, SAS, GST, whatever it is. A lot of what you see is dummy data. You can also click on it and you can edit certain items. So if you change the location, default discount, locking, returnable, not returnable, discontinued, some tags as well. If you would like to put any tags, this is a cool one, item alias. Let's say you don't like the way we have named the items. You want to put it your own name, your regional language, something like that. You can also put your own name, and when you search for a product, you can use that text and it will pop up right there. You can also create appeal reminder settings here as well. So a lot of different features are there. Please feel free to explore them and ask our associates for more details. This is all together about inventory. There are a couple of other things. For example, if you want to bulk delete expired items or manage item categories and things like that, feel free to explore all of this. I think there is a million other things I'm sure missing out, but I think I'm giving you a better gist of what are the uniqueness of our software and where the software is heading for 2025. Uh, Welcome to one more session of this demo. As you can see, this is we are doing in multiple rounds, and today I want to talk about a couple of more things, starting with staff management. One of the superpower for being on a cloud software, you get to create a lot of logins, and there's absolutely no limitations of how many devices you can use on. But you kind of create multiple logins, and based on the logins, you can also set the permissions of the staff members of what they can and what they cannot do. And this, in my opinion, a lot of our customers, while they have facility available to them, they're not taking a lot of advantage of this thing. And hopefully with this demo, they can actually set the this correctly. Because one of the concerns I come across all the time is that staff does not have mobile, which I think is very sad because a lot of other features, push notifications, alerts are being sent to the mobile and they're just not aware of it. And partly the reason is because they think that if we give them a mobile access, they will have a complete access to all of their records and everything. And which I'm going to tell you today that it's not true. You could actually have a mobile access given to your staff, which is very, very extremely carefully crafted, and a lot of permissions could be set such that the no data can be misused. So if you go to your profile on the right side, there's something called staff and sessions. You can go to staff members, and these are all the staff members I have currently. You can deactivate anytime you want. So if somebody leaves your job, you can just with one click, you can actually kill their login. So they will never be able to log in again. So make sure if you terminate, if you terminate somebody, please do so. Make sure you deactivate them as well. The other cool thing is one staff, if you have multiple locations, you can have one staff that could work on both stores as well, depending upon where they want to log in. So all that, you can also use that. It's the same staff, but they can have multiple logins. I mean, that may have multiple different store logins. There's a simple form. You can basically go through this whole thing. And also, with different packages, you get different number of staff. So if you are opting for capsule, for example, your six staff logins available to you. Before, we did not give any staff logins into tablet package, but now that we also have opened it up and we have listened to our customers and they wanted at least one staff login, which we have provided now. Before we get to the staff, more importantly, there is something called managed staff roles. So the way the whole thing works is you create roles. The roles are like this says sales manager, purchase side, B2B biller, or sales manager, or a warehouse manager, or a picker, or a delivery boy, and so forth. Uh, you can create any row as number of roles you would like to create. When you buy a new software, you are predefined, you're given already 6 roles along with it, which we think are the most common ones. So you don't actually have to go through this thing. And across the role, you can get to decide all these different features, what kind of permissions they have. So you can see that I can have all kinds of features that I would like to give them an option to sales. And I understand this is quite overwhelming to you. And that's why we are giving these 6 different roles by default that are already designed for you. We might be keep looking into it. And if we have to provide more roles by default, or when you buy software, we'll add that. But most importantly, you can change any of this as well. So let's say purchase manager, we give you the way we think is correct. If you don't like that, you can actually go through all these permissions. You can change these permissions as well. So for example, let's say purchase guy. Let's say it's a purchase guy. However, I do not want him to give an edit permission. I can simply get rid of it. I can update it. I can say, I'm sure, and boom. Now all the staff that has a purchase manager role associated with them will not have this edit right anymore. Let me put it back on because I'm sure that some of my team might be using it, but I guess it doesn't matter. I don't think everybody's logged in the owner account. So as you can see, there's tons and tons and tons of different controls that you can provide. The same controls will also be applicable on a mobile application. So when you get a new software, please spend some time in going through these roles and make sure that you are using the staff members features very, very carefully. If you do not understand, of course, we'll be more than happy to provide you the support. Even the reports, you can have multiple reports
assigned to multiple. So it's not like, once you give access to report, they have access to all kinds of reports. Now, actually, we are even going to dashboard. We are actually opening up our dashboard as well, where certain blocks into the dashboard only could have certain staff rights as well. So if you have any vision for this, if you have any suggestion for this, please let us know. But I think this is a very powerful feature, and all the staff has very fine. You can customize however you want. You can see how many staff roles that we already created and how many different ways you can actually control, view, edit, return, all those kind of things as well. Lastly, among that is also one more thing people still feel, despite giving all the rights, people have very reservations around that. I would not want my staff to be able to log outside the working hours, outside um, my facility, my store or something. There are also device security features where they can actually set it up based on how you want them to be able to access. If you only want them to be able to access in your Wi-Fi network or something like that, or your devices only, you can also configure that as well. Uh, in fact, unfortunately, no staff is logged in right now. But if I would like to, I can actually, with one click, I can also log them out from their device as well, as long as they are associated with you as well. Lastly, in the staff members itself, if you go and let me actually open somebody existing, so that's easier. I can look up this person and let's say assign role. So I can assign a role from here, all the roles that I actually already showed you. It will also show you what kind of permissions there is there. Most importantly, if you set up that login time, so let's say somebody is a shift and if you set them up, allow not 20, allow 24/7, now you can actually fix that. And in that case, they will not be able to log in outside those working hours at all. So all of this is there. I think we have spent so much time in making sure the staff is configured correctly. Please use this. I think this is a very powerful. Empower your staff, but then at the same time, you could have complete control over the activity and your data leakage and things. Please take an advantage of that. I think going forward, staff will only get better and better. The one particular role I would like to talk about is people don't configure that properly is the delivery person, right? So there's a delivery boy. Because we have Vitran as an application, I think I've mentioned that earlier. You can actually track your deliveries. Uh, Customer can also track your deliveries. It's a very systematic way to do the deliveries. But for that, you need this one particular staff, one particular role and associated staff. They are the only ones who will be able to log in into that application. So take some time, spend some time and go through this thing. I think there is a lot to learn and be able to benefit from here. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. Second thing I want to talk about is uh, some settings. Let's go through some settings while we are at it, actually. So there are lots of settings out there. I will be very clear. I'll be very honest. I actually, particularly, I don't like this way of settings. We are actually working on. It will take some time, but I think we are working on something even better than this. And the way we want to work on this is the following. Um, if in at the time of onboarding, you'll be telling them what kind of stores do you want to run, what kind of things you worry about, what kind of controls would you like to have, what kind of convenience would you like to have. Some people value convenience a lot more. Some people value accuracy a lot more. Some people value control a lot more. And everybody's different. Everybody's store is different. Everybody, the way the business is working is very different. Their customers are different. So depending upon what they want, we will actually set settings for you. So right now, settings are designed such that you need to know where to go, which settings to be turned on and turned off, and things like that. The new version of this will come probably in a couple of months, where you will simply say, "This is what I would like to do," and we will set settings for you. And of course, you can still go ahead and override anything you want. Just kind of like a staff role and staff permissions. So you tell me the role and then we give you permissions, but you can still override those permissions. So anyways, whenever it comes, it's mostly helpful for a new customer. If you're an existing customer already, it's probably too late for you to talk about settings. Uh, let's go a couple of them. Uh, in Before we jump into it, I want to mention this. There is something on the right side you will see. It's like a shield, um, and it's like what it is. It's an EP. Um, if you have eVitalRx on your mobile phone, in your more section, you can see something called ePIN, which will basically a two-factor authorization. So think of it like an OTP. Anything you want to change in these settings, when I hit update, it will ask me for this ePIN. The reason we had to do this is because there were a lot of blames that somebody from our side changed the settings, which is of course not true. You can actually also download the logs. So whoever has changed, let's say sometimes what happens is customer changed something and they forget that I changed it. You can actually download the logs and see when you change something, maybe your staff changed something or not. Other than that, let's talk about a couple of important ones. Allow negative sales, always my favorite. You can search item with alias. If you like, I think I mentioned that earlier. If you have a particular way of naming products, you can also search through that. There's a lot of compliance related stuff as well. Some people would love to or make sure that they have to have a doctor name for all the drug products. You can set it up. If you don't like that way, set it off. This is one of my favorite one, add margin safety net. One of the things we had a problems with that people were being quite what do you call these creative with discounts and memberships and everything. And what was happening is sometimes they end up selling product at a loss. So what we decided to come up with something on margin safety. So there it is. You can actually across the category, you can actually set up the margin that you would like to retain no matter what. So once you have 3% here, return B2C margin for this FMCG items, no amount of promotions or membership or discounts or even owner cannot sell below this 3%. So this is a very powerful thing. We put everything at 3% or so. You can of course change it. So it's a very strict thing because that way no amount of mistake you make, you never sell a product at a loss. So you can set that up. If you are taking online order, if you want to restrict certain pin codes that you are receiving order from very far away, you can do that. If you have a cashier model, I suggest that default payment mode is credit, not a cash or something. So all these things are there. Some of my other favorite are return ones. I always would like to verify for OTP sell return. That's a good one. Generate return from sales only. So you cannot just simply go to the returns and start creating. You have to find the sales bill and then from click on it, and then only you can do this. There is inherent, if you do that, there is inherent lock in there that you cannot return more items than what you have sold. Some more invoice related, you can mix and match different columns, you can change the format, you can change the kind of printer and size of the printer you're using, some terms and conditions, greetings, phone numbers. So, if you want to put a different phone number than your account number, you can do that. All the licenses, if you're going quotation, purchase, prefix for GST purpose, billing purpose, purchase payment due days. Like this is the default purchase payment due days. So all these things, right? They attach HSN code mandatory. There are customers who absolutely does not want to take a purchase if the HSN code is not entered. There are people who absolutely do not want to save purchase if the location is not set for the product. So all these things are there. Please take an advantage of that. QR code has some different size of QR codes you can print. What you want to print on a QR code is also possible. Shortbook is actually very critical one. If you have branch and they are creating POs for your warehouse, you can actually restrict items what you could actually put in high priority. These are very detailed stuff. If you are using warehouse, I'm sure we are going to do separate demo for warehouse and branch management. But check alternate product packaging. So what happens is, for example, in Shortbook, you ask for something where there was 14 pill strip, 14 tablets. Now the company changed the packaging to 50 or vice versa, doesn't matter. When the product comes as a purchase, it's a different packaging, but it's the same product. Some people would like their Shortbook to be cleared. Some people do not want to be clearing that Shortbook. That is what this is about. So let's say, and this is what more important in an FMCG item. Let's say this particular Vicks jar, let's say this is 30 ml. And now the new packaging is 25 ml. Now, 30 ml is not coming back actually. So you kind of want to get rid of the Shortbook when you get a 25 ml packaging. So these kind of things are very, very critical. If you opt in for purchase order, there are some restrictions on this thing, but if you opt out, you can actually also suggest this separately, how you manage a Shortbook. Very detailed stuff. I'm not going to go through each and every detail here, but really cool stuff here. because people have so many different variety of things that they want to, sort of manage their purchase ordering from. If you're using PO, you can actually set up an expiry days of multiple days, merge PO. If you are pending PO with a distributor, and if you send another pending PO as well to the distributor, do you want them to be merged? Do you want them to be separate? Again, people have a lot of different ways of doing this thing. Cash management, if you want to open up cash management every morning, if you want to activate, deactivate, how much cash do you want to keep in a drawer so that it always stays that way? Lastly, we are actually working on quite expanding this thing. Even the medicine request that we started doing this thing. Even the medicine request, some people would like to have a different standards for different medicine requests. Some people says, I would like them to add a content, otherwise the new product does not get approved, shelf life, schedule type. This is just gonna get bigger and bigger. So lot of settings here. Our onboarding team. So I think I mentioned this earlier, and I'm going to mention one more time. When you buy a new software, we provide a lot of one-on-one training. They also act as an onboarding sessions where they help you set up your store, your software to match with your priorities, match with your preferences. And it's not just about teaching you how to use the software, but more importantly, configuring your software to your needs. And that's why I always say, even though you might think that you know the software, which I'm pretty sure you do, you might have seen this video and you're like, okay, I see everything is cool. Please take some time, go through that. I think it will help you a lot, especially if you already have a very strong preference of how you want to do things. Please take some time, and they'll be more than happy to help you. So first one, we talked about staff, the settings. The last thing I would like to talk here in this session is something I think I hinted earlier, but I wanna take another jab at it. It's what we call in audiences. Now this is gonna change the name. It's gonna call segments. So just like the way it says here, I'm sorry, it still says audiences here. We changed the name a little bit here, and I'll explain what it does. A lot of times, what happens is you want to do certain thing on a solely certain portion of the total data, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Let's say I want to use distributor selection algorithm that eVitalRx has in Sahai, but I don't want to use on all the 70,000 plus distributors that eVitalRx has in database. I only want to use in certain criteria of this. Well, I'll give you a better example. Let's say I want to send tomorrow a WhatsApp for some offer that I'm running, but only to a set of customers. For example, let's say Women's Day is coming, and I have set of products that are women products, and I would like to run a promotion, but I only want to send it to female between, let's say, 18 years old to 45 years old. Right? I want to send to them. And then I would like to send, just in greetings to somebody who has not shown up to my store. You used to come to my store, but not shown up on my store in last 1 month. Or I only want to change on inventory filters. I would like to set up filters, and I would like to keep that segment of the products for some other use. So you can see where I'm going with it. You can actually create a subset, a segment of things that are out there. We'll go through the examples, it will become more clear. If you go and click on new, it will ask you, there are 3 different segments we are providing right now. Distributor, patient, and medicine, which I have already mentioned. Let's just go with the distributor for a second. I'll go and select it. Right now it's completely blank. I said Ahmedabad distributor with CSV. Okay. And I will say this is my name. Now I'll add a rule. And in the rule, I will say, which city do I need? Ahmedabad, right? So on the right side, as you see, there is 73,000 distributors we have in the eVitalRx database. Once I put Ahmedabad, I can click on this arrow, and it will show me that basically in Ahmedabad, I have only 3,000 distributors. Now I say I have one more rule. This distributor must provide me a CSV. And then I go back and I can run this again, and boom. Now it says Ahmedabad and a CSV. And it says and. Let's say I want to change it to or, I can change it to or, but I'm not going to change it right now. Right now it says distributors that are part of Ahmedabad and provide CSV, there are 578 distributors. I can click on it. It will also show me all the distributors' names, right? So I would like to see it. I can have one more rule, say the ratings. Now you know why we are asking for ratings after all the purchase. Has to be more than 4. And then I apply. And then I go back here. It's out of 500, whatever it was. Now it's about 384. Click on it. I can still see the names in here and all them is there. So now I can save this particular segment and boom. It says Ahmedabad distributor with CSC. I should have said four-star rating or whatever. Doesn't matter. Now you know the gist. But now what do I do with it? So for example, the distributor selection is particularly important because we already found an application for it. If you go to Shah and if you go to configurations, here says distributor selection. So I have this algorithm where I can add all these things here that I would like to margin and this and that. But up until now, you're only applying this to the distributors that you have already dealt with. But that's not really helping you, right? Because if you're already dealing with them, you cannot really get a benefit of dealing, like finding a better distributor, right? This is where this audience things comes in. If you go and say, I would like to have Ahmedabad distributor audience apply, I can apply this thing, 384 was we saw. Now it will actually go ahead and apply to all these things. So even now, the software will start suggesting you the distributors that you have never dealt with before. And this is the most powerful thing. I hope you take a moment here and realize what we are doing. What we are helping you with is we are helping you to explore the distributors outside your knowledge. We are going to add a few more things here. What's the batch accuracy? What's the GST filing history looks like? Things like that. It will only get better and better. But this is one application. So in other words, let's say if I'm not applying this thing, right? If I'm applying this to everything out there, sorry, I'm going to get rid of this. There it is, 65,000 distributors that I can apply to. The problem is I'm sitting in Ahmedabad running my pharmacy. It's suggesting me a distributor from Delhi. It's not much of a point. So I would like to, so let's say you're sitting in Bangalore, of course you'll do your own audience. If you're sitting in Delhi NCR, you want to be able to deal with the people from Haryana or UP or Noida, at least, and Delhi itself. You can suggest, or you can rather define your own segment that you are going to do. Now, distributor is a little different. It doesn't work like that in patients. The patients, one big limitation is it only creates the patient segment from the patient that you already have. Of course, we do not share any data of other patients, but it is still very helpful. I want to show you. I can go to medicine, sorry, patient selection. I can go back to this. There are some rules already. Age, status, mobile number verified. If I want to send a WhatsApp, what's the point of not having customers who does not have mobile number? Email verified, gender, last purchase. If this purchase, last purchase was greater than 2 months, right? So right now I have 451 customer. How many customers have not shown up for 2 months? 315 customers have not shown up for 2 months because their last purchase was more than 2 months ago. These are the customers I would like to save a segment and send a reminder that, hey, how are you? Blah, 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 whatever you want to do. And then let's say out of that, I want to say, I don't want to put a gender here because I don't think we much have a good data here, but let's say I say male. 54 out of that is male who have not shown up into last month. I can also do this or say either the customer has to be male or the customer has not shown up for 2 months. I can actually also run that as well. And it's still 54 in this weird case, but doesn't have to be this way. So in this case, you can actually use this segment, create this segment, apply for CRM purposes, and it will basically, you can use it for CRM purpose or scheme or offers. And the last one is also, like I said, the audience medicine selection. I can just go on for the sake of manufacturer, schedule type, medicine name, MRP. Again, this is right now still in the works. We are actually adding many rules here that you can think of. Products with the schemes, product without the schemes, whatever. And then Once this piece is finished, we'll start putting this thing into scheme and offers as an audience that I want to apply. Imagine this way, I create a segment of medicines that I want to create an offer for. So remember offer, where was the offers? There it is, discount and offers. So if you remember this, I can actually, instead of item filter, I will have a segment here. And then I will also have additional segment that which people are they going to be qualified for. So I can have a segment of medicines and a segment of patients, that only these people can actually get benefit of the what do you call this offers. Oh, last thing about the segments, it will automatically update itself. So for example, I say get customers who have not shown up for last 2 months. Of course, currently there is number of 54 or whatever that was. 2 weeks from now, it won't be different, because 2 weeks from now, that's 2 months have changed. So the number of customers who will qualify for that segment will also change. So it will automatically update. So the way you are doing it, you are not really creating a segment. You are creating a set of rules to create the segment, and it will apply itself. I know it's a little complicated, but as you have applications, you will become very, very easier for you to understand. This is one thing I'm extremely, extremely excited about. I think it will change a lot of those things going forward, and hope you take an advantage of. We have one more session where we're going to talk about some other last few things. I continue to say that I know I said this multiple times. There is a lot of features that I have not even talked about it right now. So please get a demo. Please check out the other videos as well. I personally will be doing a lot more videos of these things on a feature level, accounting, cash management, bank management, all those things. But they are there. For example, here, so B2B, we are not even talked about B2B. Payment reconciliations, business insights, manage expenses, all those things are there. Uh, Unfortunately, I cannot go through each and every detail. Otherwise, it will take 10 hours just to do this demo. But you feel free to explore this thing. Lots of videos in different languages. Please explore that. And I'll see you in the next segment. So in this last special session, what we want to talk about is three major things. One is the lab test integration. The second is the EMR integration, and the last one is actually a very big topic which will deserve a separate demo. But we are going to spend few minutes here anyway to describe that. One thing we are offering to our pharmacies as a part of our Grow Your Business package is the integration with the laboratory partners. One of the laboratory partners that we have tied up with is called Orange Health. And right now it's not serviceable in all the cities, but eventually we will be adding actually a couple of more service partners here as well, where they will be able to actually do everything here. So this is the Orange Health Labs. One of the integration, I think that's they are live in Delhi, NCR, Bangalore, Mumbai, and a couple other cities. But the way it works is very simple actually. For any patient of yours, if any customers of yours, now onwards, you can actually book a lab test at your pharmacy with their phone number, their doctor name, and the collection address, collection where the sample is supposed to be taken. And just like what you would do into your search, you can actually type a type of a blood test that or any blood or urine, or doesn't matter which type of test. You can actually click on the test, and they will actually be able to build that here. If you want to provide any discount to the customer, you can, but you don't have to, of course. And then you will be able to add that here into the package. You can get a payment for it. The way it works is that you as a partner to book the lab test, you get some fees paid by the Orange Labs to you. And that's how it works. The idea is very simple, that pharmacy has a higher trusted relationship with the patients, and the patients sometimes are very, very, there's a lot of friction about patient going to the laboratory directly. So if you want to be proactive and if you want to provide this service to your patients, they can actually pay you here, and you'll be able to book those labs as well. This is very early in stage, so we're still very collecting a lot of feedbacks from the customers. If you want to give it a try, please do so and let us know what you think. The one more thing I want to talk about is in integration is, one of the thing we do in integration is we have also integrated with EMR software. EMR software stands for Electronic Medical Records, or EHR, Electronic Health Records. Usually, these are the software that are used by doctors to keep the patient profile, to keep the write a prescription electronically, and so on and so forth. And through this integration, so there is a company, for example, there is a company named Ika Care, which we work very closely with, but that is not the only company we work with. We actually, so there is this is what their portal looks like. Um, this is where these doctors are using their portal to write prescriptions, to write a patient history, and so on and so forth. If you work with a doctor, if you are a part of the clinic or a hospital or something, and if you have an EMR software that is not EGACare or any other software, we are actually very open to integration. Our software eVitalRx also has, um, let me see if I can open this up, docs.evitalrx.in. Yep, there it is. These are all the APIs that eVitalRx has actually opened up for other integrations to happen. So, for example, if you are a hospital, if you are a pharmacy, a clinic that has an EMR software in-house or outside, and they would like to integrate with eVitalRx, we'll be more than happy to do it so that your pharmacy can run on eVitalRx, but your doctor can continue to use EMR and EHR software. What are the things you can do? When the doctor writes a prescription, they can actually, at the time of writing the prescription, they can also check the availability of that particular product at the pharmacy. So imagine this way: I'm a doctor. I'm writing in my EMR software interface. While I'm writing the prescription of a product, I can actually check the inventory. They can also search through a content. So everything pretty much you can do in a sales screen. You can also do it in a doctor screen as well. Most importantly, if the product is not available, we can also suggest an alternative to the doctor that are actually available at the pharmacy, so the bound does not occur. And ultimately, of course, once they push the prescription, it will automatically become a draft order or a draft sales invoice into a pharmacy. More importantly, after that, if you are a doctor and if you want to see what kind of business or what kind of sales are happening, you can also check all those things through APIs. But most importantly, you can look at this, the list of these APIs that we have opened up for any other type of, so there is a, for example, set of APIs that are popular among API for EMR AHS. You can go to that and you can actually read about all about the sequence diagram and all this, very cool stuff, I guess. There is a video here as well. Search products, what to do, how to do it. So these are all like technical stuff here. So if you have a technical team on your end, we'll be more than happy to do an integration with them. There are API keys that are available within your portal, so you can actually use that API key and also integrate with your EMI software. So again, we are not married to a one software. Any software that you use, as long as it's on a cloud or something, and we'll be more than happy to do API. We also offer webhooks. As I respond to the webhooks is when something changes on eVitalRx, as a new sales wheel is created or something, we can actually drop that copy into through your webhook into your choice of portal as well. So these are all the technical stuff. If you have a tech team, I think they can go through this docs.evitalrx.in and they'll be easily navigate through all this technical stuff and be able to make most out of it. Last thing I want to talk about is multiple pharmacies, multiple locations, chain pharmacies, pharmacy businesses that own more than one or two or five or 10 or 20 locations. And what are the unique challenges they usually face, and what are the unique things we have done to help them? So if you go here, there's something called warehouse. You can actually click on that. We'll be actually renaming them to the admin and warehouse. But think of it as an admin section where I can actually collect all my branch stores. So all the branch locations that I have, I can actually add them here as well. And I can actually look at order analysis. So throughout the day, what kind of businesses they have done, all the dashboard, this is all real time. So basically you are looking at, whatever businesses they have done. You can actually, drop down and select certain batches, some certain branches. If you want to look at on them all collectively, you can also look at them all collectively. If you want to only go through certain of them, you can do that. If you have multiple GSTs, you can actually group by them GST as well. You can do all these kind of things. Of course, you can change the dates and things. So this is like a real-time dashboard that is running across all the branches. So you don't have to actually log into each and everything. You can actually, analyze through one simple thing. Um, Lastly, if you are also using a warehouse model, so a lot of chain pharmacy, they also do is a centralized purchase. All the branches are required to buy all the medicines from the warehouses, right? Not everybody does that, but for anybody who's looking to grow more than 5, 10 locations, they are actually probably interested into this. So this is where the PO section is. This is where all the branch POs every single morning are being communicated to warehouse. So let me spend a little more time and explain what I mean by that. So if I go back to the, let's say, classical view, these are all the PO. So every morning, the way we have set it up, and these are all configurable. So you don't have to listen that, you don't have to believe that this is the only option, but this is one of the most popular option. Every morning, every branch at 8 a.m. automatically through eVitalRx places a PO order to the warehouse. The basis of these PO orders are usually through min-max mechanism. So they all have set up a min-max themselves, which where Sahai, which is one of our offering into injection plan, which is what we offer into these multiple locations. You can actually set min-max, you can actually define the controls and all those things. And all of that will be actually 8 a.m. in the morning, will run through the whole, all of these POs, and will be placed all the orders to the warehouse, right? So if, for example, if I go store-wise PO, I'll be able to see, all the stores and their POs accordingly. So if I go here, these are the POs that I have. This is the PO we have sitting there. There are status of the POs they can filter, but and then from here they can actually, let me just open this, these are the different POs that I have received from different pharmacies. These are the status that are they are sitting in right now. I can also see that in this PO, for example, whatever this PO is, I actually have 100% of the product that are required in a PO that is available in my warehouse as well. So as a warehouse manager, I tend to understand that what POs I need to fulfill and ship it out to my branches as soon as possible, right? Uh, this is for dispatch, like it says. This is why it's a PO order wise. PO, whatever PO it's supposed to be shipped to the branch. There is always a counterpart in a warehouse management, which is what they are responsible for procurement. And this is where they are. So the procurement guys does not look at the PO wise, they look at the items wise, right? All the items are aggregated, and whatever stock that we already have into our software will be deducted out of it. And then the rest will be actually going to Shortbook, and actually procurement will happen for the warehouse, right? Really a lot of stuff here. So I'm definitely going to do a separate video on this thing. I'm just giving you some gist. There is also B2B billing portion, which is where the bills are going to be done. If it's the same GST and a PAN number, you are of course doing a stock transfer. You're not really creating a GST invoice. All those things are taken care of. If you create a GST stock transfer here, automatically at the branch level, it will start showing up. They do not have to do any entries and things like that. So there's lots of cool stuff here as well. One of the cool thing here is also, if you want to click on it and if you want to look at the other branch stocks. So if I'm running a branch, I know this is I'm logged in as an admin, but even if you are logged in as one of the branches, you can also see that what other branch of mine actually is carrying this stock as well. We actually, if I had logged into as a branch, you can actually also raise a PO for those items, or you can also request the items from those branches to be transferred here. So all this cool stuff is already there. Couple of other things that I want to talk about is as a warehouse, as an admin of the multiple locations. Now let me go back here in the main page. It's this something called what we call is control room, and I think we are going to build this thing in the further capacity as well. So a lot of times what happens is that uh, some companies, what they have is some of them branches are their own ownership, and some of them are not their ownership. They are running a franchisee stores. Depending upon the relationship with the main organization, there's a lot of data controls that people want to keep it differently. For example, um, some people wants their branch stores to be able to edit the purchase once they take the stock in. So once they take the inward in, they will be able to actually edit something if something is wrong. Some organizations do not want to give that control to certain. Like for example, if it's your own store, I'm pretty sure you can say that they are not, allowed to do any editing. But if you're running a franchisee operation, then you might have to allow them. If you're running both of them, and here is where it's interesting, all these branches, whether it's owned by you or whether it's a franchisee, you can actually ask for controls here. They will have to approve the control that yes, fine, I give this control to my HO administrator. If they don't give the control, of course, you don't have the control. So these are some of the controls: purchase invert status. So if they have actually invert, so a lot of branches, what we were having is that warehouse has already shipped the items. They also received the items, but they don't do the entry of the purchase invert. So warehouse actually wanted to see, admin wanted to see whether they have actually entered the entry or not. You can, if you want to see it, you can see the status. Again, it has to be at the volition, at the choice of a branch itself. They can actually revoke the right anytime they want. Similarly, there are some other ones. Apply item discount. If I'm an HO and if I decided to sell this item at certain discount, if the branch must follow that particular discount, I will also be able to take that right from them. There's going to be a lot more here in a couple of months, where you will actually be able to define the amount of control you have as an HO, as a warehouse, or as an admin, and each branch will have to approve it. Again, if tomorrow, if the branch, gets disassociated from you, somebody bought a franchisee and they gave up the franchisee, they can anytime go here and revoke these rights that they gave to you. So we call control room. There are also logs for it. One more thing I want to talk about is, let me go back to the warehouse. And you can, sorry, I think it's in profile or something. You can actually add new branches as well. Sorry, my bad. You can actually add the branches as well. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Link new store. So let's say you open up a new branch. You can look up that pharmacy from here, branch, whatever. You can type their name or whatever it is. And then, sorry, mobile number. Sorry. So I don't know what number is that, but I don't think this is a real one. But you can actually put their mobile number of their account. Once that mobile number is there, they must have received an OTP, and they will have to verify that OTP that they truly want to be associated with your HO. So you can't simply just say that this is my pharmacy. Of course, you have to have a procedure there. So a lot of other couple of other things, like into Sahai, you will see those things quite a bit. You can actually aggregate all the branch data here in the HO as well. I'm gonna stop here, and because this, like I said, this is a big discussion.
Sales order.
There is a sales sorter as well, which is very, very popular among the large store and the warehouse as well, which is kind of a screen where this is for B2C design. There is a parallel design for B2B as well, for warehouse management, where it's a completely picking system where each POs are assigned and each POs are distributed among the different pickers and things like that. I'm not going to go into details in this demo right now, very frankly. There will be a couple of other videos for the warehouse management as well. Long story short, here, what I would like to say is that we do have a complete warehouse management system as well. One last thing I want to mention is, since we are also coming up with a distributor software, where do we draw a line? Which one is the warehouse management and which one is the distributor management? If you are a company that does predominantly B2B business, that is 95% plus of your revenue comes from B2B sales, then you are supposed to getting the eVital supply software, not this particular warehouse management. If your 90+% of the revenue comes from selling to your own branches and things, then you probably would like to this warehouse management aspect of it. There's going to be a lot of overlap between warehouse management and distributor supplier software. But choose wisely. Our team will be more than happy to help you. I think the picking system is something that requires a completely different demo, which I will do it. But there's also another demo that is coming up with how do we manage all these central warehousing and retail chain operations as well. I hope this was helpful. I know this was a long discussion about a couple of hours. but I had to do that because the product has grown quite a bit, and it will be growing by the time this video go live. There's going to be a few more things. That's just the nature of it, unfortunately, and that's why our team is always going to be there to help you out with all the latest development and so on and so forth. If you guys have any suggestion, feature request, any complaints, any criticism, you can write to me anytime. Kaushal at evital.in, Kaushal at evital.in. I look at all the emails. I try to respond to all my emails. If I can't talk to you, I will definitely put you in the right person with my team, and they'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and looking forward to do a lot more videos now on. Thank you.